subscribed to the channel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Me and Lars just social distancing. Brad and Ames are coming by too. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, everything looks good. Our internet kind of slowed down here right before we went live, of course, as usual. But whatever, Spectrum's trash. Everyone knows it. So it seems like we're still coming through, just dropping some frames. But what's up, Astro Pup and Dirty Brat? John York. Yeah, I guess we got everyone real used to the 9 o'clock because a slow start to the chat. But yeah, when Brad and Ames get here, well, Ben let him in. We'll try not to let Edmund escape. But yeah, I figured we'd talk a little bit about bike touring tonight since we just came back from the longest trip we've ever done. So, which is not super long in the world of bike touring, but for us, 6 days of riding and 5 nights of camping. And is this the first time we've done a trip where every single night was camping? Because I think we've always had like one Airbnb or like hotel or something mixed in there. Like,
yeah, I think as far as I can remember.
Yeah, because I think even on the Gap in CNO, one of our campsites got canceled, so we ended up grabbing an Airbnb. So, what's up, Dennis in Naptown? Yeah, overall the trip went great, I thought. There's always, you learn something on every trip. Like, nothing is going to go perfect, and there's always going to be weather, which we went from that must be Dave. Absolute extreme heat, and we got 1 day, 1.5 days of rain, but the rain only affected 1 day of riding and a morning of camping, which is good, and like not in even a horrible way. So
It's funny you say not big touring in the grand scheme, but I was actually looking at a Wanderer, and me, you, and Aaron were all top 10 for new miles in the whole United States.
oh really?
Yeah.
For that week?
Yeah.
Because we had, well, I guess
That's including, I mean, they're obviously all not using them.
Yeah.
But the Tour Divide riders, I saw a couple of them with like a bunch of new miles. But
yeah, I didn't. So the trip ended up being for me now I can't remember, 450 miles, something like that, in that range. Ben rode a little more, and then we all had like slightly different mileage because we all rode to our houses, and we all didn't always do everything exactly the same time. But the last part of the trip was almost all miles we had done before the last day and a half.
yeah.
So I'm guessing probably a little over 300 miles I'd never ridden before. So I was surprised. We got some new miles closer to home, and I wanted to go and dive back into like how that happened. Because I know we did a couple different cuts in towns, but that would have been like 2 or 3 here and there.
Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
Brad names are coming in, so I got to grab the Edmund. He didn't get to go outside tonight, so. Hey. A lot of activity for this guy. What's up, Bicycletta? Ryan? Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about bike movies next week, but I know even just saying that, people are going to go off on bike movies. Anytime bike movies even get slightly mentioned, that's why it'll be a good topic, but.
There's only 2.
Oh, yeah. There's only 2. Yeah, start that argument right now.
Just
Sam.
speak right into this.
Yeah, just speak right into it.
There's only 2.
Sam said, "What's the best Brooks saddle for touring?" I think we did have 2. Did you ride a Cam-Man?
Yeah.
Ah.
C19.
You're not riding. You didn't ride you were riding your air gun? An air gun?
I'm on
Ergon?
a WTB Volt.
WTV. Volt
Ooh.
or Bolt?
Volt. V-O-L-T.
And that has a channel in the middle?
It's got like a divot,
Ah.
not a full cutout.
Pudgy Pedal Pusher became a member. Pudgy Pedal Pusher celebrates 52 months of membership. Funny Brad, more like sex bomb Brad, am I right? Broccoli emoji. Broccoli emoji.
Broccoli emoji.
Oh, there it is. I was wondering, like, why can't we see that?
Pardon my reach.
You gonna show your toe on the screen?
I am.
Display.
No, you're not.
Oh, it doesn't.
This part, though.
Yeah. What do you think was worse, the heat or the rain? I'm sure you would say heat.
Oh, yeah, the heat.
The rain.
I was praying
Rain,
for the rain.
yeah. I don't like getting wet. Like there's a time there's a time where I'm on a bike ride and it's super hot and I don't care if it rains, I'm already out. But on a bike tour, I never want my stuff getting wet. I just don't like getting wet.
I hate it. Yeah. Oh, Redmond.
Oh, Dave, last time I was on the stream, I was like, wait, is that the guy that picked up my bike? Is that whose bike was it? See, I was right to trust him.
Yeah. What's up,
Is
Myrtle?
Aaron coming?
What's up, old rider? No, Erin's not coming, actually. She was mowing and stuff, so.
Nah.
I guess I could squeeze in a little more.
Tee-hee.
Sad Hugh, 67, said, riding from Cincy to Xenia and back this weekend on the OTET. Any recommendations for Tusconian? Oh, someone from Tucson.
Tucsonian.
Yeah.
Tusconian.
I thought it was like a Tuscan Raider or something.
I was
It's
going
not
with
capitalized. It
Tuscaloosa.
was throwing me
Yeah.
off. Yeah, Tuscaloosa, a lot
Yeah.
of that kind of stuff.
I'm glad you went with their preferred nomenclature.
Yeah. Of course. Sand people.
Hey.
That's how you get canceled.
I don't road bike with the rain jacket, and if it's as warm as it's been, you won't even need the rain jacket because you would. I always say
Oh,
this.
God.
You'll sweat way more than you would. Wouldn't you rather just be wet from rain than
Yeah.
salty sweat? Like I don't.
Do you want to be wet from the outside or the inside?
Yeah. I never considered putting a rain jacket on when we were getting rained on. It was
Absolutely.
almost
I don't
90
think
degrees.
I even put one on.
Nah, it was.
I
almost
saved
90.
it for when we were inside and wore
Yeah.
it to warm up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason. I think the only time I wore warm, like my wool layer, I never wore my rain cape, was when we were in like, we walked into a coffee shop and it
Yeah.
felt so cold from like being outside or
So
from being
cold.
wet.
Oh, I loved it.
Bicycletta was talking about the coffee shop in Dayton. That was the best one I think we went to, wasn't
Which
it?
one is
The one where vinyl, is that what it was?
Vinyl?
Vinyl was the best.
Vinyl was the best one.
Vinyl was the best, but that wasn't in Dayton, was it? Where was that?
in
Outside of Xenia.
yeah, in between.
There was another good
Oh.
one.
It was in that when you picked up the weird bike path in Washington.
Oh, Washington
Courthouse.
Courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
It was Washington
yeah.
Courthouse. Yeah.
No, that was the best one
Wait,
by far.
remind
too,
me
I think.
which
That's
one.
where I had the mocha.
You got a mocha.
And it was like the
one.
pretty one.
That's
that I
where we
took
came out of the
pictures.
rain.
They were playing vinyl record.
It was called Vinyl, and they were playing.
Oh
Vinyl
yeah,
records.
yeah. That's the one. We're all talking about the same one. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought
After
Some-
you hit the Groundhog.
Yeah.
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 post Groundhog.
Nice berry shirt. I assume that's you. Yep.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Ames don't iron that shirt.
I'll try not to.
They ride the O10 in single file to hide their numbers. Tuscan Raider comment. Yeah. I haven't done any longer. The only time I really tried to wear the raid cape was at Gunk's Not Dead, and it was like 62, 63, and after about 5 miles, I took it off and just got wet because it was still too warm in the 60s. But
Read Ricky Cool's.
where?
No, I know. But when we're on bike tours, it's usually in the hottest time of the year, so I never have to wear a rain jacket.
I did wear a rain jacket for all of Black Fork, actually. But it was a
But it was
ventilated
cold,
one.
right? Or chilly.
It just felt like it was gonna be too cold if I didn't wear it. I never thought to take it off.
Yeah.
But everybody else was in shorts and t-shirts. But it was
I think it has to
short
be
weather.
almost upper 40s, low 50s for me to go rain jacket. If I'm doing a decent effort. I think
Yeah.
like the same thing, the rain cape is great, and if I was on a bike tour that was chilly, or if I was a bike commuter and I'm only going like 5-10 miles where I'm never going to build up that much heat,
Yeah.
I would definitely wear it and I would put in a little less effort. But if you're doing something climby, even in the 60s, I just get too hot to have a rain jacket on. I don't
For
know.
sure. I just go with stuff that's going to dry fast. Just thought he was just another homeless person.
Which one is Timmy? I'm Timmy. But
Timmy's-
it's spelled with an IE. I've never ridden to Brompton. I have no people like the one year Matt Stevens, the used to be GCN and now he does commentating for European television. The one year during the tour would ride the mountain stages on his Brompton before like the commentary in the morning.
Oh, really?
But
Wow.
they sound like they ride really great. I've never ridden a small wheel bike at all, so I have no idea. I don't know if you could keep up with me on a road bike.
For the price, I imagine that they're
Yeah,
really comfortable.
yeah. Got boxers older than 25.
Ooh. There's no elastic in the world that can last that long.
Yeah. This shirt is probably more than 25 years old. I probably owned it for 15, but who knows when it was made. Yeah, everyone's different though with that. Like 5 to 10 mile build up heat, brother. I get sweaty on a 3 mile commute. So would Brad, but
Bubs,
me
I
and
got,
Ames are not like that.
I
Yeah.
got sweaty getting out of the tent.
I'll always err on the side of being hot. I think if there's even a chance of being like slightly chilly, I'd rather sweat.
Oh, here's a good question because I asked you about this on the trip too. Did the however you pronounce that now the bars.
Siskiyou?
David subscribed to the channel.
I like the ergonomics of them, but the ones that I got are the steel ones. They're very heavy and they're not very flexy. And I like the flexiness of my tie bars. It was noticeable on my wrist.
Look at him.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, they're kind of like, they're kind of like, are they like the Velo Orange Crazy Bars kind of? They have like nubs and
No, they go, but the crazy part goes in, right?
Yeah.
oh, so they're just a little,
bit.
they're like having those clip-on,
They're just
like
little
just some like nubs on the front of your sweet bars.
But way
sweet bars
cooler,
with
yeah.
a-
Can
Yeah.
we get a pic of them?
Yeah. Oh, I can't type. Can you type?
Not very well.
I mean, can you reach the keyboard?
What is it?
Steve
I could copy and paste it actually.
Steve Potts.
Potts.
Ah, Steve.
Siskiyou.
There it is.
S-I-S.
It's already there from
There you
the
go.
couple hundred times Tim's had to do this already. Type in Ramble Bar next. Oh, you got it.
There you go.
I have 3 monitors and I just can't find where my mouse is. Is this the ones
Yeah,
from Walmart? We're not going.
No,
Wow, so you can get Steve Pot.
Yeah, is that-
Handlebars?
it's like Amazon. They don't
They just drop ship.
they're third party.
That better not be. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I know.
Those are
Plus,
cool.
from your accident years ago, you still sometimes have a little wrist pain, right? So that's why you kind of like the more suspension in your bars.
Yeah, just on longer rides, it gets.
Yeah. Being
Never
able
the
to
same.
change position.
You're gonna, hey Ames, I think someone wants to visit you.
I've been chosen.
This just made her fucking weak.
Did you see those eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. He walked over and looked right up at you. We had zero. I think we had zero just mechanical issues with the bikes.
Yeah.
Like no
shocking.
flats.
Yeah.
The bikes.
Yeah, we had another issue which we'll tell the story in a minute. Yeah. Thanks, Ken. Silver Explorer needed a pedal faster. Brad Sweat's walking into a beer cave.
Oh man, every beer cave I could walk into, I did.
Average millimeter tire width. We were kind of all over the place. I was
Yeah.
55s.
I was
45.
40s.
You were the narrowest.
Yeah.
45.
What do you have on the Space? 45 on the Space Horse. What do you have?
2.25 inches.
What is that in road bike? Gravel bike?
50, 62.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not-
62.
It's not 55.
Do you know what Erin was running? She was she was somewhere around me,
I
right?
think she
Yeah.
has the Mars, which are the same size, I believe. 2.2 something.
There was really only one section where wider tires would have been a benefit for traction. He loves that. Yeah. Which would have been climbing up to one campground. Everything else was paved or crushed limestone. There was nothing rough. But wide tires are still comfortable no matter what.
Oh, that's not true. Once you got over the hill on Turkey Hollow, that whole drive was the chunkiest.
That's what I was
gravel.
saying, going up to Turkey Hollow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was super chunky and hard to ride on.
What do you call that size gravel? Like that fist size gravel? Or just
Fist side
Chunky.
chunk.
the chunk.
Chunder.
There was that one segment that we did. What was it? The second day where because it had rained a little bit, and there was that gravel. Yeah, was that the second day?
Yeah, it rained the second day.
Yeah.
That's when we actually rode in the rain, yeah.
It rained.
It rained the first day, but we didn't ride in it. We sat it out at the brewery.
Right outside of that.
We got caught in a little bit of it because I was praying for it because of the heat.
We went to that coffee shop. Do you guys know which gravel I'm talking about? It was kind of like real loose. The second day.
Loose gravel on
I think it was the second day.
Well, me and Aaron did off-road on the first day because we cut through those farm fields that you guys all opted not to do.
Oh yeah, no, she's right.
You know what
There's
I'm
that.
talking
We were
about?
on the roads, and there's that gravel section that is kind of
Oh,
deep.
yeah, we did hit some
Yeah.
gravel roads.
Yeah.
And
And
it was
like,
hilly.
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like way
That's
looser.
when it rained. That's when
Yeah.
it rained. I was
Yeah.
When it
watching.
started raining.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like,
we were going past those horse fields, and then it went up into the hilly section.
yeah.
That's-
I wouldn't want to be on a my
I don't
road bike or
remember
32s or
Oh yeah, I
anything
could
there.
see her tail. Her
That was
tires
that was-
just
that
going.
I just rode faster and was like,
Yeah,
I
send
did-
it.
yeah.
Just pedal faster, yeah. Oh man, we are behind.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I mean, we'll,
You said.
Oh, now you're cool about.
You know what they call it when you're at that kind of gravel?
Fisting.
Getting fist.
getting fisted. Got to be careful saying no flats when your bike could hear you. Now it could happen, but yeah. Yeah, so
Good thing there's no bikes nearby.
Erin seemed really happy with the sweep bars. I was curious whether she would be, and she liked them. I've already done tours on the Gunner, so I already knew I'd be happy on it. I did back-to-back centuries riding up to Ann Arbor on that bike, so I already knew that I'd be happy with it loaded. I had baby heads.
I was riding my Canyon today thinking, I wish that there was a way to ride that bike on the tour because it has so much more, like, there's so many different ways to hold the bars than regular drop bars. It's more comfortable.
Naptown is probably accurate. Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, this was someone had made their own road back to their camp, like their private property, so they just dumped truckloads of gravel for people who were going back there with Jeeps. It even warned you on the Hip Camp website about what you're riding, so. I don't know why this cat loves streaming so much. He's not this, like, he sat on my lap last night for a little bit, but he's just way sweeter in the basement. I don't
He's really
understand.
tucked in there.
He's so tucked in. There you go, bud.
Oh, I bet a bunch of people like would have suggestions here, but coffee stops, lunch stops, Cincy to Xenia.
Ooh,
Man, it's
been a minute.
so there's Loveland, but that's pretty close to Xenia. There's a good brewery there. You couldn't miss it. It's the only one in the town. It's tiny. There's also what's that big factory building? That would probably be a good lunch stop if you're leaving Cincinnati.
The one we've never been able to stop.
I finally
at.
made it when Aaron was working, but Cartridge Brewing would be a good stop. Probably 30, 40 miles outside of Cincy.
The place.
I thought Loveland
right
was
in
about
Cincy,
34.
50. Is it 50 West? The one we went
Oh,
to
yeah.
the other one?
That was great.
That's in
Yeah.
Chillicothe, and that's
Oh.
slightly outside of
They have
Cincinnati.
another
That's,
Location.
it's probably too close though. You probably wouldn't be ready to. That's why we've never stopped at that one because it's so close to either the beginning or the end. They have all those like volleyball courts and stuff like that. That it's technically not Cincy because someone just said their original location is and said the name. But yeah, Xenia. What's the name of that? Devil Wind is the brewery in Xenia. That's really good. I don't think we.
Oh,
were,
is that what it was?
You,
We
we
didn't
have,
go
we have
there? Okay.
you weren't there. We went there on Ohio to Erie 2 times, 3 times, 2 times. The last time we went, time of day we hit Xenia. We didn't stop. We just rolled through.
Gotcha.
But we waited out the rain twice there. So.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, buddy.
And we ended up getting a pretty good buzz, and everyone got confused and separated. Hey, what's up, Dylan?
Oh, hey, Dylan. Oh, hey, bud.
Yeah, everyone who's from the area would have
Nice.
better suggestions. Yellow Springs, yeah.
Loveland is cool because they're rebuilding their downtown around the towpath.
Yeah, it's like all oriented, like the towpath is the main street.
Yeah.
Or well, down there, that's the Great Miami Trail or Little Miami Trail, one of the two.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, but it is like a towpath. Ben has done the ABC ride in Akron. Oh, that's this weekend?
I've done it as well.
Oh, you've
Yeah.
done it too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You only did it once, right, Ben?
I've done it 3 or 4 times.
Oh, really?
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it. That's right. You did it. You guys did it that one weekend where I was considering it, then ended up going. So I thought you guys were all going to crush it. Then you just rode it like party pace. I was like, damn it.
I think last year was my 4th time doing it. It's fun. It's a good time. Yeah.
Elevation was actually nothing crazy. I think I had 7,800 feet for the whole
Total.
entire tour.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I was saying it's by far my biggest mileage week ever, but I've climbed more than that just at higher ground in PA on a single ride. So
For sure.
And what, Black Fork's like 6,000 or something?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
66.
Yeah. This year was even higher.
but we intentionally made the trip as minimum elevation as possible while still going where we wanted to go, because there would have been a cooler route between Chillicothe and Portsmouth if we wanted to, but we ended up taking 104 just to keep the elevation down. So for a 70-mile day. Go-to food. Well, we like to stop at places if it works out. Snacks wise, though, I'm like I usually just have candy. I'll buy whatever candy looks good.
I feel like the sandwiches are the go-to. That's like why we end up stopping.
Yeah.
Filling. It's not something we can get anywhere, but I'm trying to think what else.
I'm trying to think of what we did when we were
Sheets chili mac.
Sheets chili mac.
when we were up in
That's all I need.
doing the North Country Trail when we couldn't stop as often for food. What we had with us.
I take figs too. I really like figs because they're like candy, but they're much more filling.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm eating something. I'll even take a bag of figs and mix in. Like I had Swedish fish and figs in a bag. That was like my
Nice.
go-to ride snack just to keep
That's
fueled.
a good one. Yeah, I've been taking dates for the same reason.
Does Ames know
I did pack dried fruit too, like mangoes and dried oranges,
Yeah.
peanuts, a lot of bars.
Yeah, a lot of dried fruit, and if we can, we'll grab fresh fruit too.
I went through all of my dried fruit and all my peanuts.
And all those cherries.
Yeah, everything we bought. Yeah.
I ate all the snacks I brought. The only thing I didn't eat was I brought some of those untapped maple syrup gels, but they're not gels, they're just maple syrup.
Yeah.
But that was always just a not emergency in case I was bonking type thing anyways.
Yeah.
We weren't out. I mean, we had a couple sections where we were kind of out there once we were like south of Bellefontaine and stuff, where there weren't a ton of places to stop, but there was always just enough.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we rolled into the one spot, you were completely out of water.
Yeah, I had to go by.
Ugh.
But that was still 11 o'clock in the afternoon, so it
Yeah,
wasn't
and
like
I'd
we
only
had,
just ran
yeah.
out of water.
Yeah. Yeah, I bring Cliff Bars, and I'll eat them on the road as an emergency, but I like them for breakfast if there's no breakfast immediately. I need to
just
eat
a
something
little
right away.
something, Yeah.
Yeah, like especially
Yeah,
with coffee.
that's
I
what
can't pour coffee into an
Yeah.
empty stomach. I need to like eat something.
I bought a bunch of those. What's that brand? The bars that I got.
Oh shoot, the fig ones or were
No,
they
the
brown?
protein.
Oh yeah, Pro Bar.
Pro bars.
Yeah,
I
we
brought-
did both each those.
I usually bring several of those on trips, but I end up using them in those situations where it turns out we're going to get breakfast, but I need something like.
Yeah, I mean, because almost every morning we
what
were
was
only
that?
like 5-10 miles from where we actually stopped somewhere to get coffee and breakfast, right?
I think I ate a Cliff Bar every day.
And
You cooked breakfast most days, didn't you?
Lemon pies.
Lemon pies,
Oh,
a lot of
that's-
hand pies, fried
yeah.
pies. Yeah.
That's. Yeah. I always take. We always take I think we all take a couple camp meals with us just in case.
Yeah, and
I
this trip
usually
I knew
take more, but I use them for breakfast a lot. I like the oatmeal for breakfast. But
I needed the one for sure. Like, well, I mean, you guys did end up riding your bikes a 10-mile round trip to Wendy's, but
Yeah,
I'm still glad I
was
just ate
worth
my
it.
camp meal.
that
But
was the best, one of the best meals.
and then
So enjoyable.
yeah. Then 4th of July, I could have gotten snacks at the gas station, but I opted to make a camp meal that night too. So
yeah.
instead of eat gas station
You
food.
don't want to be on display.
Oh yeah, I grabbed a sandwich for that.
I ate the one camp meal I brought.
The carrot cake and blueberry Cliff Bars are the only ones that I could stomach. I eat the peanut butter. I think it's a peanut butter.
Crunch.
Yeah, peanut butter crunch. Those are my favorite. But
The blueberry
it-
used to be my favorite.
Who makes the? Is it Lara Bar? Who makes those lemon ones?
Laura.
The lemon Lara bars or the lemon blueberry ones are.
Yeah, the mashups that we
Yeah,
bought.
those are great.
Those were great.
Sam said dry mango for breakfast. One of the things for breakfast, I can't do fruit and coffee at the same time.
No way. Or sweet. No
So
way.
Why?
except for bananas.
I just don't like it.
It's like the double acidity.
Maybe
like,
that's
there's
what it
something
is.
weird
Yeah.
about it. So and coffee tastes bad. If you eat like a strawberry and take a sip of black coffee,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
the
know.
sweet going to. Yeah, I can see that.
whereas the bananas don't bother me because
tart,
they're so like
the
chalky
bitter.
and it's kind
Yeah.
of like lining you. But everything else like, and I could probably do figs if I wanted to. But like yeah, in general, like I love dried mango, but I would have to have something between like the coffee and that. I saw a drug rug at a mountaintop gift shop in Asheville over the weekend and thought of Ben. That's how he wants to be thought of.
Give me your shittiest drug rugs.
Pudgy with the lemon Luna bars. They are the best.
I have definitely bought Luna bars before. Our power bar is still around. Man,
Oh my
I haven't
God.
seen a power bar in a hot
I
minute.
don't even
I
know.
saw one at my parents' house, and it expired in 1992.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
I think they probably still make money selling to triathletes or something, right?
They're owned by Nestle now.
Oh, are
so,
they?
Yeah.
Someone was saying
Everything's-
Cliff bars are bought out too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's either Nestle, Unilever, or
yeah.
I think Nestle's owned them for almost 2 decades now, something
Hmm.
like that.
Should we tell about the one accident we did have?
The groundhog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell about the groundhog. Here, we'll use Edmund as the groundhog.
yeah, go get my bike.
Oh, Nap was saying I would have to plan a little more ahead as a vegan for this kind of event.
I don't think
A
so.
little bit. Like, we're not leaving civilization. Like I said, we had a couple days like we were out there a bit, but you would have been able to plan for that, or you would have had like extra food with you, knowing that you would have those situations. I bike toured with Dylan, who's vegan, like across Long Island and stuff, which is about the same frequency of running into stuff. It's a non-issue. I mean,
I think everything we pack is vegan, basically, and then everywhere we stopped probably had a vegan option.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
like, because I mean, we ate in Dayton, we ate in Xenia. We're not like, this would be way different if you were doing the North Country Traverse again or something, and
Yeah.
they would take more planning if you're like out there or doing bike packing in the West. I don't think like in this day and age traveling through like cities and towns all the time,
Yeah.
there's going to
It's
be
kind
something.
of like a non-issue.
It's crazy. We're at a point where gas station veganism isn't that hard.
Yeah, there's just stuff. right?
Yeah. I've got a goof.
I got one from 1974.
I only got that because the elbow in the rib.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say I only not until you kept laughing.
Drivetrain. Oh, on the Bridge Club. I think it's Shimano. I think it's
And you have Sweet
Shimano.
Bar, so that's a mountain bike
It's a
group set, right?
32 tooth?
Yeah, it's
32 or 34 tooth?
No.
It's smaller.
we got it. I thought we were able to get a 40 on the front.
Did you?
Or it is a 38? Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's the Dior. Yeah, Dior drivetrain. But I have the Paul Levers on the front now, and I.
Levers.
Levers.
What do you call them?
Levers?
It was kind of funny.
Oreos are vegan?
But I didn't take the Bridge Club this time. I took the
Yeah,
Space
because
Force.
there's like.
There's no milk in that cream filling?
Why is this surprising? It's like
I mean, it's all
completely
sugar.
processed.
Yeah, I mean, it's all sugar, but I assume they put some kind of, yeah. Stephanie had said, like, cans. It was funny, Erin was looking at some stuff for camp, like canned stuff, and I'm like, make sure it's pull top if you get it. And she ended up getting a box of macaroni instead.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, it's one of those things where then you, like, get to camp and you're like, oh, yeah, and then everyone's just sitting there like apes trying to, like, play with the Yeah, yeah.
I think on the Bridge Club, the more I think about it, sorry, I'm still processing. I think the derailleur, the shifter, and the wheel set are the only original parts on there now. Everything else has been replaced.
I didn't really ask you. I mean, I did, but I'll ask you for the sake of the stream. Why did you bring the Space Horse instead of the Bridge Club? Because you've been riding the Bridge Club on bike tour since you had it.
Yeah,
It's your wrist, right?
there's some. I have to adjust the handlebars a little bit. I've been getting some numbness, so I'm not sure what I need to change there just yet.
You run those super wide bars that I can never remember.
The ramble bars. yeah.
Ramble bars.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of riding like a normal, like with bars?
Absolutely not.
Even by all bar stations?
I think you could ask that to like everybody in our group.
I mean, I've had a bunch of handlebars on there. I like trying them out. And I have some, I think, Ron's ortho bars that I want to try on their necks, but I need to use a shim for that, and I'm always leery of shims.
So go from wide to wider.
No, those are not as wide.
Really, the ortho bars aren't as wide.
Yeah.
You should try. You should like put my granola bars on there and try
I
like
have
a normal
granola
sweep.
bars.
And did you ever have them on the bridge?
Yeah, we
Club?
ate
Yeah,
all
I
the
had 'em
granola
on
bars.
the
We already
granola
talked
But then you
about
found that you're like, I want to look more like Aaron Novak.
It's more comfortable.
That's immediately what I think of. Too. Immediately.
And yeah, I know I'm comfortable on the Space Horse. The Space Horse is pretty close to dialed in. Yeah.
I would have been like, I could have ridden the Raleigh and been fine as well too. I just like the ultimate comfort of being on my like gunner now.
Yeah.
And the capacity of doing the 2 front low rider panniers over like 2 Zeitgeists. It's just a little more space. So
It also has this might seem silly, but I knew it was going to rain for at least 2 of the days, if not more. Because you know how the weather we're watching it for weeks trying
Yeah.
to figure it out. And I just didn't want to have to worry about the saddle on the Bridge Club. So
That's smart.
because yeah, especially if it's the first couple days and yeah,
And the dew and stuff too.
right.
I'm just on top of the saddle cover game. It doesn't bother me.
I always carry it with me when I have it, just in case. But then I'm just riding on a saddle cover the whole time.
That new wax canvas one I got is super comfortable.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't tell
I
I'm
haven't-
riding on it, and it's actually nice because it's really grippy. You don't like slip on it at all.
I just have one of those neoprene ones.
I've never used a neoprene one. I've always used either just the Brooks ones, which are almost like not there at all.
Yeah.
You know, because they're so thin. But I also have worn both those out, so I have to use 2. So it's so stupid. And like Erin was finally ordering that rack for her Bombora, and she was like, "Hey, they have these cool saddle covers. Look at them." I'm like, "Order me one."
Yeah.
Like it's so stupid to keep double
Wear
bagging my
2 of
Brooks.
Do you put a bag underneath when you're riding too?
Nah.
I'm
But this
sorry.
bike has fenders.
Oh,
The
yeah.
gunner has full
I
fenders.
always
You're
shove a.
adamant about sleeping.
And it's
He's-
funny 'cause that cat doesn't mind being jostled. Like you move him, like you get uncomfortable and need to recross
He's
your legs.
dead
he won't-
weight right now.
Yeah.
He's like, put me back. Put me. Look at him. No, I won't make it. There you go. You want to do it?
Oh, Raymond, I've definitely carried
Oh,
a.
do you want to go?
There was somewhere where I carried a number of bagels with me. Because bagels keep well better than bread because they don't get
Bagels.
smashed and all that. Bagels, I can say. Yeah, bagels.
Admin.
Bagels. Yeah, whatever.
I kind of like when a peanut butter and jelly sandwich gets a little.
Aw,
Actually, I like
we
when
should've done-
all my sandwiches get a little smashed.
I don't like it with normal sandwich bread, like, but
Ooh.
I like it. I don't mind it with. That's why I like
Yeah.
it.
PB and J.
PB and J. Yeah.
That's the best.
Oh,
That somebody
really?
sat on.
Ah,
Yeah.
Or has been sitting on the bottom of your lunch
Eclipse
bag
ride. That was
all
our
day.
best PB and J.
Yeah, that's good.
I've got that
You
clip
go
of you.
grape or strawberry?
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Jam. Not
Jam,
jelly.
yeah, same. All grape is like jelly. Even if you make homemade grape, it still turns out to be jelly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Strawberry, something.
Strawberry or blackberry? What about you?
Like black raspberry.
Bagels.
Oh, I'll eat some black raspberries. Any berry
Yeah.
jelly.
All the berries.
Strawberries,
Yeah.
It's your time of year too, isn't it? Where you're
It's kind of
picked
passed
over.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I
Really?
missed them.
I missed it.
But we'll still get we'll get blackberries next because those are the black raspberries are early.
Oh,
but
the
blackberries
blackberries.
come on,
Okay.
and there's usually a lot
Seen
of
them. They're out there.
They're out there.
I can't believe this whole trip I
Blackberry.
never picked a berry. Usually that's one
I
of the
looked
things
for
from
some.
like
I
4th
only
of
saw
July
the
trip.
gooseberries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't. Saw
When
some
we were at
mulberries.
Delaware State Park, there's people.
There were, yeah.
There's pickers along the side of the road, inside the park,
I saw
which is
one,
a state park.
You're allowed to, in the national park.
allowed
You're
to
allowed to
forage?
pick what you can carry
Oh, nice.
in your. I think,
I think
they
it
mean
was-
in
What
They
is
had
it?
Delaware
berry
a
buckets and
mushroom
stuff?
policy. You could pick whatever mushrooms you wanted.
which place did?
The same place that
Delaware.
Brad was
Delaware,
just talking
ah.
about.
I'm
So
gonna start picking
I bet their
rocks.
berry policy is a little lax.
So should we talk about the one accident we
Oh
had?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had on the trip.
Get the toe out.
Where are you going?
I'm just moving.
Away?
No,
Adjusting.
just adjusting. Good grief.
Oh, you want to show a little more leg?
Oh yeah.
And this is day 2.
I
Right.
hit a groundhog, or a groundhog hit me.
A groundhog darted across the trail and your front wheel went right over it.
He is, even now I can see, like, he was like coming straight at me, and I was like,
You think he was so aggressive?
So
He
we're
was
on like
is he like trying to attack me? Because I'm
No,
just
he
gonna
was
run him
clearly
over.
trying to get away.
We're on like a tow
He was
path in the
big.
rain,
He was
right?
a big
We're on like a
one.
crushed gravel path in the rain in the woods.
No, I think it's maybe it was paved. I don't know.
It was
Yeah.
paved.
Oh, was it paved
Yeah.
then?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
It was like a
asphalt.
black.
So
spot,
rail
yeah.
trail then, yeah.
Yeah.
Rail trail in the woods.
Yeah, rail trail.
Right out there by Bogus Road.
Yeah, Bogus Road.
Really?
It was right before we turned onto Bogus Road. And then, so I'm right behind Brad. I watch him run over a groundhog, and I'm like, cool. But then the groundhog, this is probably what
Turn
you
around.
couldn't see.
See, I
Stops.
thought you were right next to me.
Yeah, it was like this. It was like
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Okay.
yeah.
Like an
that makes
echelon.
sense. Oh,
The wind was coming from that. Yeah.
But then the groundhog decided this was a bad decision. Instead of keep going, which would have been no problem,
Yeah.
stopped and turned around, and then your back wheel hit it.
He already had set my, because I had front panniers, and he took out the right pannier almost. It was almost completely off, and then that pitched me sideways, and I could have corrected from that, but then the back really.
It
and my-
launched your back. Like
Yeah.
you went like, I mean, like your bike went up. Like
Yeah,
I watched you-
it bucked me right off.
I
was
watched
like,
you fall though, but I
okay.
feel like the way you fell was probably
I
like
have
as
no idea
lucky
how
as
I
it could
fell.
have gotten in that
Yeah,
situation.
it wasn't technically OTB.
No, it
kind
was,
of
like,
over
down on the side.
Yeah.
Which I think was good because anything else would have been so much worse on that asphalt.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
he's sitting in the drainage ditch next to the path,
God.
but also
Drainage
in a
is
pricker.
yeah,
With
it's like
thorns.
multiflora roads and poison ivy. Those are
Yeah.
the two things, and I got all scratched.
And it's
up.
raining too, so like
I'm just sitting in.
we had stayed fairly dry, but he's
3 inches
sitting
of
in yeah, he's
water.
just
Yeah.
sitting in a puddle and also stunned as
Yeah.
you would be.
Well,
So-
I was looking at my toe, and I was like, or my foot, really, and I was like,
And this is the night after the night where you're like, well, I'm not going to wear these sandals when I ride, and of course you wore the sandals.
yeah, I wore them because it was gonna rain, and I didn't want to deal with wet
Yeah,
shoes.
you would have had. Yeah, that's fair though.
Yeah, but it also came in handy when, because I had to bandage my toe because I basically cheese grated like the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeters off my big toe, so it flattened it a little bit, and we just tried to bandage up as best we could. And it helped with having the sandals because it wouldn't fit in my shoe once it was
It's funny to
done
say the
bandaged.
sandals were a benefit because you hurt yourself because you were wearing sandals.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like when you bump into something that's just this high and you hit it with your head, but you're wearing a helmet. You're like, good thing I was wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It'd be
I
like
would have hit my head if I wasn't
If I
wearing
kept
it.
kept my first aid kit right over my door,
Yeah.
kept hitting my head on. But good thing it's right.
Yeah, good thing I had my first aid kit.
It
What
does
is-
sound that stupid.
What does this mean? Oh, now I got it. Give the whistle pig the old Syracuse.
I was waiting for that bastard to come back and try and finish me off.
Yeah. I was saying to Brad, I'm like, that thing had all day to cross the trail. It just had
Yeah.
nobody else. We didn't pass like another soul.
And it
Oh
was
my
like
God.
a mad dash to try and like cross it.
He was
all of a
big
sudden.
too.
Yeah.
I saw him going back, and we saw another groundhog later, and he was like perched up. And Brad's like, "Was that the size of it?" And I was like, "That one's a baby compared to what you
Yeah.
hit. It's like the one you saw was like this big. The one you hit was wide."
I barely had any time to do anything. It was like, what, this far away, and
Yeah.
just came right out of the bushes.
Are we bitching about low rise panniers? What'd you say?
I said it came right out of the bushes, and Ben said, "Gross."
Well, it depends.
Yeah. He did turn around.
We bitched about low. I did a whole episode with.
We watched it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys were in the chat that night.
We were peanut gallery.
I don't think I even understood what low-rise panniers were. I was like, "What are we?"
Oh, it's the
Oh.
panniers that Ben and I both use.
Same
Racks.
thing,
The
yeah.
Oh, the salsa ones?
alternator.
Oh, I used those on the first one we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
yes, you
I know.
also have used.
Yeah, I know we're a little slow on the internet right now, but I think as long as the vocals are clear, it's just gonna be a choppy picture for a little while. Nothing I can do about it.
Edmund's on the router.
Edmund's sitting on the router.
It's Edmund with a U. named after the Edmund Fitzgerald. Just for the record.
What's the
I think Tim got a squirrel too, though, on the.
don't give up
George
the
P.
ship, Edmund?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, when did that happen? That was
It was on the downhill part
It's
of
squirrel
the.
real hard.
What's that? Pavilion.
Oh, that's right.
The gradual uphill.
Yeah.
And then the downhill.
George, you'll be happy to know that I feel like this groundhog pulled like a honey badger move, and I think he was perfectly fine. So,
Yeah, like I said, I worked on a farm and I had to shoot those things at point blank in a trap, and sometimes they survived it. So I'm sure this dude was fine.
Yeah.
I would go back and it'd be like, I put like 5.22 bullets point blank in this thing's head and it didn't die. And I mean, like, I didn't miss. Like, I'm putting him in the brain. I want this thing to just like go.
peacefully.
Yeah.
They said I ran its head over.
Yeah,
And it was fine. It ran into the
He was
woods.
perfectly fine. He just
He's
jostled
fine.
his way.
Yeah. No, you didn't,
What?
Pudgy. He said I ran over that donkey in the grove. If you live around here and ride on the towpath, you've definitely killed a chipmunk or two.
Yeah.
I've killed a chipmunk.
We did have a raccoon situation too. At
We had a real raccoon situation.
that was at the second to last, that Delaware
Delaware.
State Park.
Also Delaware.
Oh my gosh.
Action
Can
in
I tell
Delaware.
the story about the squirrels I saw?
At that place?
Yeah. Or the raccoons. I was going to the,
Oh,
it
that's
was
right, when you
before it
came
was
back, yeah.
dark, and I went to the bathrooms.
Is this when you came back and you were like, did you hear me scream?
Yeah, I did. I went, because our campsite was in a circle, and right down the road was the bathrooms, and we were talking the whole time about the raccoon situation.
I like how they both left
I know,
when you were telling
they're
your
just gone.
story.
They don't care. Anyways, there was rustling.
It's just you, me, and the internet.
What shall we do?
There's rustling in the underbrush.
There was rustling in the
Oh
underbrush.
boy.
Anyways, there was rustling in the underbrush, and then
Did you want it? There was that long drink in there.
yeah,
Never
No,
gonna
no,
finish this.
the-
I want the long drink.
there's a cider in there, unfilled,
Lager cider.
under something. What's
You're
that company? You'll figure it out. He's a smart.
You're not meant to tell this story.
Should I just give it up now?
No. Soldier on.
Well, there was wrestling.
If you say wrestling one more time.
Yep, that one.
Oh, you did bring it.
Yeah, I ended up changing my mind.
Did you tell this story yet?
Nope.
Nope. There was wrestling in the underbrush. And it scared the shit out of me. And then 6 little beady eyes line up at the very edge of the woods, meeting the grass. And I remember telling myself, raccoons don't attack, raccoons don't attack. But I screamed. And they
You
were
still
just...
screamed after that?
Oh, I did. I was so scared. But they were... I feel like they were just looking like that sucker has left something in their veneer.
Did you say it was a mom and 2 babies?
It was a mom and 2 babies.
She's
for
After,
sure.
after you guys went to bed, or you went to bed early that night?
Yeah.
Me and Ben were watching our neighbor. He was through the woods, but we could just see him with his flashlight.
Looking.
Like, and he was definitely trying to keep them away. And I don't know if he had food out because they weren't bothering us yet. They're just a campsite over. Remember that guy? He was constantly like.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's right as you guys were going to bed, but then me and Ben were watching.
saw
for
him flashing.
We must have stayed up for another hour that night. You guys went to bed super early.
I heard you guys yelling at the raccoons at one
Well,
point. What did you say? You said something so fun.
Well, let's start at the beginning. So there was the parking spot for your car, which we of course don't have because we're on bikes, had one of those concrete blocks to keep you from driving too far. And I had just done the pedal trick to lean my bike up there. So I didn't have my bike leaning on anything but the pedal. But I hung my food that night because we already could tell you had already told me there's a raccoon situation. So I hung my food from a tree, and I think you guys hung your food too.
Yeah, Brad put it.
So I wasn't worried about my bike, and I left like the pockets open that had some food in them. So thinking,
If they want it,
don't
they can
tear
just
it up.
grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like leaving we used to at the car wash leave our cash register drawers open. So
Yeah.
it's like, look through there, see they're open.
Yeah,
Don't destroy our
that's-
cash registers.
I leave them open too, just so they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
fucking chew through my expensive ass bags.
Anyways, I woke up to Aaron saying something, and then I saw like light shining. So I guess you were shining a light
Yeah,
at it.
your bike fell over. That woke us up, and I got out. I was starting to get out, and I had the flashlight.
And then at one point I heard Tim say, "Hey, hey, hey," and then what sounded like Tim hitting a raccoon. And I knew that's not what happened, but in my mind I laughed.
She woke up in the morning. She's like, "Did Tim hit a raccoon last night?"
Oh, 'cause I was-
She thought he got out of the tent and just smacked it on the head a couple times.
It's
So
exactly what it sounded. Because it sounded like you got up
Yeah.
and walked to it and were
So
talking.
you guys woke me up because my bike fell over, woke you guys up, and then you and Aaron were shining a light and talking between the tents. So I'm like trying like to wake up and open up the tent door and climb out. And when I did climb out, the raccoon was still there, and he was a big boy.
He was
like I
big.
said, me and Dave worked on a farm forever. We've trapped raccoons for a number of years. This was one of the biggest raccoons I had ever seen.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, that's why I was like, hey, 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 like 'cause that's what came out of my mouth, like, hey, beat it, bro,
Yeah.
I'm here now, like. And then I walked along the wood line, like I think slapping my leg to like try and scare it
Oh,
farther
that's
into
what
the
you-
woods.
Got him.
We used to ride around like with 2 pieces of 2x4s, and we'd clap them to scare like blackbirds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of that my old farming instincts coming back of making loud noises to try and get
Oh
it to
my
move
gosh.
along. But yeah,
I remember-
it's so funny that you thought I was hitting the raccoon.
I feel like I knew you didn't, but in my mind, that's exactly. It just sounded like
That-
like you yelled at it, got up, and just were like, "Get off!"
I like the image of that so much better. Like, you just,
Hey, what are you
like
doing?
he's still trying to get in your
Yeah.
bag, and you're like, "Hey, hey."
It reminds me of the because I would never mess with a raccoon, and I feel like they would tear you up with those claws, right?
Oh yeah, it'll
But-
climb you and just yeah.
But do you guys remember
terrifying.
that meme from years ago that it was like my wife telling me not to mess with the raccoons anymore, and I did, and then it's like some guy with a scratched up back,
Oh.
and she's like, "Were you messing with those raccoons?" and the guy's response is, "I'm cheating on you."
Well, when we did that Swift camp out the one year, I think we put all the food away, but it crawled onto my handlebars, the raccoon, and
Oh,
Ben
yeah,
saw
that's
it,
right.
and it ate my chapstick because it
Yeah.
smelled like bananas. And my chamois
Oh, that's
butter.
when
It ate
Tim-
my chamois butter.
Thought we threw a sandwich to the raccoons because he found the package in the woods. Well, how'd it get here then?
That's
was
the
it.
famous year that Erin moved mine because she was like, "We can't keep it in the lean-to with us because the raccoons," and she moved it, and then they ate it. I'm like, would have been with me, it would have been fine.
No, we would have been crawled on by a raccoon.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
They took
Still-
it.
get up in there.
Where were we? I think we were in.
I saw the.
Yeah, they came up to
They're
Dylan's
fearless.
tent in Croton Point Park when we rode up the OCA in New York. He had the pizza in the side of his tent, and he said they were like right there, I think, and he was like,
Like dropped me up.
When I was in Vermont, I had picked up a pizza, and I was at my campsite. I sat it down, just turned around to put my bike down, and 3 came out of the woods and tore it away to the woods. Just tore it away, right in front of me.
"Oh, really?"
Oh, right, like immediately. It was gone immediately. They just dragged it all over the woods. Yeah.
One of my favorite things is me and Dave, when we were at the farm, we were trying to think of better ways where we'd always trap raccoons with sardines in like the big have-a-heart cages, and people would be like, "Oh, you catch them in have-a-heart cages, that's nice," and then we shot them. But either way, so we use sardines, and that worked pretty well. But he was like doing some research, like maybe they're doing everything old school here, and they've never looked up anything new. And so he looked up like, what's the best thing to trap raccoons, and it said sweet corn. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. We're a 350-acre sweet corn farm.
Yeah, put it in a trap. Put it in a trap.
Yeah, just threw it.
One ear in a trap while it was field. Then we tried using. Someone said if you put.
Watch it work really well, though.
Yeah,
They're
we
like,
tried-
put it on the ground.
we hated like we don't like killing things. We just part of the job. We hated it. So like one thing said like use fly bait and mix it with like soda, like do like flavored sodas.
I like
so
that we established that there's vegans in the chat. Here's how you kill raccoons.
But these things, they said, like, everyone told us, everyone's like, they'll drink this stuff, they'll walk away and die in the woods. We're like, perfect. I don't have to see it. The coyotes are going to get it after that. We put it out there. sometimes they would get the sardines, then all that pop would be gone. We're like, now we're just giving them a beverage, tasty beverage. Sardines.
Purple drink.
It never worked. The only way was start trapping them in a cage and killing them. Anyways, so. Oh, Yonda's here.
Aw.
So Yonda's who drove us down to Portsmouth to start our tour. I accidentally stoned a raccoon to death trying to scare it off.
It's just dead.
How hard were
You
throwing
yeah, you
rocks?
killed a raccoon by throwing a stone at it? It's Samson over here.
Wait.
Samson? Isn't he the guy who killed Goliath? Slinging a
David.
stone?
David,
yeah.
Goliath,
David and Goliath.
Samson.
What did Samson do?
He was real strong.
Delilah.
He killed a bunch of people with the drop-over.
He got his hair
ass.
cut.
Oh,
Hair cut.
yeah. Oh, I'm a little behind. I'm an
This was
atheist.
great.
I'm a little behind. 2,000-year-old story.
Spoiler alert!
2,000-year-old story. Catch up. Catch
Samson
up.
and Delilah.
I know the song with Samson and Delilah. Is that a biblical story?
Yeah.
Samson
Yes.
and Delilah? Okay.
Yep.
You guys are all raised as Jesus freaks, not me.
Are you thinking of Daphne? That's the mythological story.
No, I was thinking of David for
Okay.
sure. Slinging a David killed Goliath with a sling
No, I
and
was
a
saying-
stone.
What?
Yeah.
No, moving
We've
on.
Gone too far down this road. Night, Ricky. Oh, so someone asked me this earlier. I always get asked this about like ticks and bugs. So for ticks, what I always say is I just, when we stop, if we've been in tall grass, I just do a tick check. I don't do anything for it ahead of time, which is just me. Bugs, we usually get the fire going when it gets buggy, but you wear bug spray, right?
Yeah, and I would give a recommendation. I bought a brand called Ready Ranger, I believe, last year.
Ready Ranger?
Yeah, I actually bought it at Giant Eagle Market District, but it happened to be on sale. It is not sticky at all. It smells it smells good. It smells lemony, and it works better than anything. And it has no DEET in it or anything.
Oh,
That's the
really?
one that's in that little spray bottle that you wanted to use.
That stuff you guys were using was bug spray and it works? Because for
That's the
years,
best
I've
one.
looked up all those like,
Well, the other one I had one.
That one does-
that's
yeah,
like
that one-
eucalyptus and lemon oil and I forget what else. It helped. It didn't, but it wasn't like DEET or something
Yeah.
like that.
The
but
other
it's-
one, Ready
but it's
Ranger,
also
like-
not DEET.
I'm gonna double check it.
yeah, because that's one of my problems is everything we've ever used that I found effective, I hate having on my skin.
Yeah.
Everything I've used before that was effective was like DEET, like very
Yeah.
aggressive.
Very aggressive. I also used like a citronella based like soap when I'm showering, and I'll wash my clothes with it too, and that seems to help a lot.
Oh, really? That's a good idea. Because that would be something I would do. Because I just...
It smells. It doesn't
and, like,
smell bad.
You guys are also really intense about taking showers every night.
I just
If
love
we were-
taking showers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I swam in a clean lake, like at Delaware, I'm not taking a shower that night. So I don't want to put something on my skin while I'm sitting out there
Yeah.
because then I'm going to go to bed and wake
I
up sweaty
almost
with that
didn't
stuff on.
take a shower after Delaware.
Where's the camera?
Up here.
Boop. This one, Ready Ranger. That's a horrible.
There, it's working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of. Ready Ranger though.
Huh.
Yeah, it says 12 hours long lasting. It's Picardin. They make one that is scentless as well. Yeah, I was gonna say I knew it was really expensive at Market District, but I got it for like $3. So.
Bouncing Bike Life, real quick, asked about what did we use to trap groundhogs? Same thing. The sardines we'd catch groundhogs too, but
Apples and honey.
apples and honey is the best. Apples and honey. We'd catch them in the raccoon trap, so I never thought about trying to catch them separately. We were only starting to have a groundhog problem the last couple of years because there was a farm dog that kept them clean for a long time.
They also
Kept
like,
us clean. Kept them real dirty.
They also, they also like Schwalbe G1 tires and Ortlieb panniers.
Oh, one more thing about the Ready Ranger. The scent we were using is called Ranger Orange. It's orange scented. It was great.
I
liked it.
smelled when you guys were spraying that, and it wasn't. Yeah.
It's not like abrasive.
Myrtle said I put smelly stuff in my op sack, outdoor proof bag.
Odor-proof.
Oh, odor proof bag, and my food bag or canister. It helps a lot. So to keep the raccoons away
Yeah.
that we're talking here. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're supposed to put your.
Oh, gotcha.
When we put up our food, we're supposed to put our like our DOP kits in there.
You have a problem with skunks? Man, I had skunks living under my deck at a duplex for 2 years, and I was like friends with them. No
That
problem.
was terrible.
You have a problem?
You're just in the back, just hanging out with a family of skunks.
Yeah, and I'd just be, when they'd start walking to me, like, beat it, Bo. Hey, hey, hey.
Push a super chat
You named them?
$4.99. That's just old man Fitzwater spanking the trash panda in his tent that Big Raccoons is just enjoying the weird spank me show. Raccoon emoji, raccoon emoji, raccoon emoji, otter emoji, chipmunk emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji,
Oh,
broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji,
Banana,
broccoli
banana,
emoji,
banana,
broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, weirdos.
And where are the weirdos?
You're supposed to thank people for super chats, but Pudgy, sometimes you make it hard. Really? You guys have skunk problem? Like, yeah, skunks would come out from under the deck, and I'd be like, hey, all they did was eat the bugs in the yard. I'd be like, hey, don't come this way. It was annoying when we catch them in the traps, because they don't do anything to the corn.
Yeah.
So we'd like put a blanket over the front side of the trap, and then we'd open it, and you'd hope they'd run out. There's a couple times where I didn't have one with me, and then like all of a sudden you'd smell skunk smell later, and you're like, "Oops, I left them out in the sun too long," and I felt so bad.
No!
Yeah, they just died. Yeah, but herbal armor.
I just looked it up. It's very similar to Ready
Oh,
Ranger. Yeah.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
For a second, when he said herbal, I thought he was gonna. When I lived at home the last couple of years before I moved out, I used my sister's shampoo once, which was herbal essences.
Herbal
Oh.
And then I went for a hike at Virginia Kendall, and bugs were just
Oh
like
my
basically
God.
crawling on my face.
Oh. I never thought of that. How you could be attracting them like
Yeah, don't use. Yeah, do not use like stuff that has like a
Yeah,
scented.
sweet scent especially.
You guys didn't hear it? They read it out loud to us.
Oh my gosh. Is that a joke?
He's got to be lying, right? Did you guys not hear it? It showed that it came out. And we
Oh
heard
my
it.
gosh. We listened to it for like 17 minutes.
And even if it,
Broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji, broccoli emoji.
for some reason too, even if it didn't come through the desktop, that was loud enough. It should be coming back through the microphone, right? Gross.
Ben's looking it up.
Yeah, he's checking. Ben's checking.
I'm curious what this comment means. If you're O positive blood, nothing will help you. Is that true?
I don't know.
I wonder if that's true.
That's just old man Fitzwater spanking.
Oh, there's even an echo from it feeding back through the
Big
mic.
Raccoons is just enjoying the weird spank
You'll have
me
to send
show.
it again.
All right, we got it.
Emoji, raccoon emoji,
Dude, send another one.
I can't remember if I'm O positive or O negative.
No, it's a skin treatment. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not buying that for a second. That the blood type matters.
What
Yeah,
was
more
your guys'
delicious.
favorite part
forget.
of this tour?
I feel like this would explain so
What was our
much.
favorite what?
Part of this tour.
Ooh.
Wait, let's finish with the blood
Oh,
type
I don't
first.
know the thing, but it's just that's true. Something about
I don't-
O type blood.
They could smell it through chemicals on your skin.
Yeah.
All right.
How does
I
that
wonder
not
if
make sense? It makes perfect sense
Snyder
to me. It's like
brothers
all
had-
in your body. No, that's what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
remember when I
should
asked
ask him.
Allison what our blood type was, because it was either O positive or O negative.
I don't know. I think the thing of repelling them, it's like no matter what your blood type is, if you're sitting around a smoky fire, they're still going to be like, I don't care about smoke all of a sudden, because I could tell there's blood in there that I like. I'm not buying that.
I buy it. I feel like it makes sense.
But you're putting the barrier wider than where your blood is. Like
I
the
can't
defense is
explain
out
it. Don't
here.
make me explain this. I
Yeah.
just agree with it.
If we start a fire and put your favorite beer.
They're insects. It's
I just get
different.
burned over and over again.
Okay, favorite part of the tour. Okay.
Pudgy said, I could have gone harder on the Brock. You're welcome.
Oh, it worked.
Okay, so Ben asked, what was your favorite part of the bike tour?
I have to go last because I know I had one and I remember thinking about it.
I think it might have been at Kaiser Lake.
Just camping on the
Really?
water?
Yeah.
The sunset? I
The
got
sunset was really good. I liked
I got one of you too taking a photo of the sunset.
Yeah.
You caught the tail end. You spent so much time in the bathroom, you almost missed the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. I had to clean my toe.
Clean the dough.
Put these on. Starting at the sun.
It's starting at the picture that she doesn't want you to see.
So this is looking back towards the campground, and this is us again. Some people don't get this, and I know from comments, camping in like a place like Ohio in the summer, like people are like, "Oh, I never use a rain fly," and I'm like, "It's wet as hell every night in Ohio. Like it's just
Yeah.
do if you're not like under a tree." It's very, very wet. Like
Yes.
you almost always wake up with everything as wet as if it had rained. Like you have to put your saddle cover on a brooks, you have to use your rain fly, and your rain fly is soaked. Anyway, so this is stuff drying out from the day before. But that's the view one way, just towards where we are. This is Erin eating a chicken finger and not wanting her picture taken. And Ben and Erin eating. But this is like what the view looked like looking out from right where we were camping. Like literally
We're on the water. Yeah.
this is just looking to the campsite next to us. And then this we are like camping literally on the edge and just watch the sun go completely down. So that would make sense. This was
Yeah.
a pretty cool, and the swimming beach was walking distance.
Yeah.
Like what, 500 yards from where we were camping?
I like that we got to each campsite early enough to go and do swimming and stuff like that, and even have enough time to set up and go and hang out and do that stuff.
Yeah, when we first said like for the long day, we said let's leave at 8:30, and we were all kind of like, and then after that, every day we were like, let's leave at 8:30 because it
yeah,
made sense
exactly.
because we got for the first time ever we got to places to like enjoy the park, like not
Yeah.
ever, but I mean we just every single night, every time there was an opportunity to swim, we were able to swim, and we still stopped for dinner and still did whatever. So it was worth getting up and getting on the road, you know, and.
We were already up, yeah.
Yeah, you guys were up. Everyone, I was the last one out of bed every single day, so still made it work. But
I think that mocha.
yeah, so
at
that was
Vinyl.
go ahead. That was. This is Brad taking a photo of
Oh.
the sunset at Kaiser Lake, which is so. This is a pretty cool campsite. You can see where our picnic table is. Where I just showed our bikes is really only what 20 feet behind us, and the
Yeah.
fire pit's right there. So yeah, watching Starlink satellites all night. What were you gonna say, Ames? Your favorite part?
Was actually the coffee at Vinyl, just because we also had ridden through all that rain, and so it was like a relief to be there too. But it was also like it was by far the best coffee we had.
Coffee and the food was good.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, they had really good sandwiches there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
They took forever, but we didn't really care because we really weren't in a hurry to get back out. We were kind of waiting out the next rain anyways. weren't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that
I don't
day
know
was
if
the
I have a
hardest
coffee
day
photo.
that turned into the best day, because then we went to Vinyl, and then it got really nice, and then it was also beautiful for that segment that was like it ran parallel to the road. The bike path and the road went together, and we went by all those other Indian mounds as well.
That was the day before. That was after we had waited
Oh,
out
we
the
left-
rain
yeah,
at
that's right.
the brewery. But yeah,
Yeah, that campground though, that's
It was brand new and
second night-
clean.
Yeah, that was my
Oh yeah,
favorite.
that
Right
was
here.
That was awesome.
It doesn't look like much.
Yeah, it just
but
looks like a parking
We had
lot.
it to ourselves.
yeah. This is a brand new campground that they are, so that you could tell what the hell just happened there. They had planted a bunch of trees and stuff, so in a few years it's going to be like this cool spot. Right now it's feels kind of barren, but also nobody else is there, so we've been in the rain all day, so we even kind of packed up in the rain, so we have everything like. But it got sunny at the perfect time.
Yeah.
An hour before this campground, so we had dried out, but then when we got there, we were able to set everything up and let it air out. Like the sunset was.
But the
Look at that
shower
light.
situation was great. The picnic
Brand
tables
new.
were great. Yeah.
Power everywhere. Like they had a pavilion that had like just a bunch of power, but it had wasps in some of them.
Yeah.
What am I doing up to?
I think you're walking. I have a series of these photos, and you had just finished putting your rain fly on, and you're walking over to the fire. But yeah.
This is pre-Groundhog, yeah. Why is that one? I almost said, why is that one so dark? Oh, you mean the one you took at night?
Yeah, it was like starting to brighten it. I'm like, no, that's what it looked like. So I
Sorry,
didn't-
KB.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't. I mean, obviously, I enjoyed seeing Portsmouth and riding out of there to Chillicothe. Even though the road, we had a wide shoulder, we had a huge tailwind, so we were just like sailing that day with
That
minimal
was
effort.
crazy.
Oh yeah,
But-
that's
just the nerd in me wanted to see where the canal ended, and then I was stoked to see the canal was still there. Like I mean, it's only there in the way it is. If you have ever been up here in the Cuyahoga Valley, it's a ditch, you know, and there's some locks. But I just had kind of read that it was just completely gone. But we were riding 104, it was still there, and just to see the other end of it when it's such a big part of, I feel like, my life up here, working in the Cuyahoga Valley for years,
Right.
riding the towpath, you know, watching the towpath develop. Akron only exists because of the canal. So for me, that was like a little, just a nerdy thing that I really enjoyed.
You're
you
from
know.
a canal town.
Yeah.
I liked Portsmouth a lot.
Portsmouth was interesting.
I liked they had so much more climbing there than I expected, and the riding around there was really enjoyable.
That
Yeah,
tail,
how every single street has an alley was just fun to like. We like kind of just free rode around there.
It
And
was easy to ride too because you had the
This is
alleys, but
Portsmouth.
then the main roads had bike lanes, and
Yeah,
it was great. That was fun.
yeah, and it's where adventure cycling started. So
what was your favorite part?
internet stuff.
I liked all the little towns.
Yeah.
Portsmouth, Chillicothe.
I thought you were going to
Dayton.
say the climate, Turkey Hollow.
Also I don't know where this is going. Also the towns we saw after we left Dayton were pretty cool too. So we went Xenia to Dayton, which I've been in both places before. But north of Dayton, I'd never done any of that. So was it Tip City, Piqua, and there was one between those two that had that huge courthouse, that huge county courthouse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
That
crazy.
was really cool. So that was like cool to see those, like just seeing a bunch of towns in Ohio that we've never seen. And we really crossed the state. We went almost all the way west, north, and then back east. So this is all Portsmouth right here. So-
I had never been to Dayton either, and if there's people in the Dayton chat, I'm sorry, I just didn't find it very cool.
Well, we didn't. So you went into where that coffee shop was in Dayton.
Yeah.
That the street we came down, when we looped around, is awesome. So it's an old brick road and it's full of small businesses and small bars. We came through.
I missed
like,
the one cool street.
yeah,
Got
we
it.
came off the road in
Dayton
a
has a
different
cool
way,
street.
and we didn't go into downtown either, though, or to like the cool neighborhoods. We came up out of the
Yeah, it's that I haven't seen enough of it.
Yeah, because I've spent some time cruising around Dayton, and there's a couple other cool spots that bike paths go in different directions too, like an old part of town, and yeah. So you definitely you went to a coffee shop right on the edge of like their Highland Square, like their like
gotcha.
total like neighborhood with all the like the cool stuff, and didn't go into it. And then also we didn't go into like the neighborhood with all the old river houses and stuff like that. Like so.
That day though was the best trails we had. I think that was the one that was like all those, like into Dayton and out of Dayton, where we had all that shade and stuff. That was
Yeah,
great.
it was crazy too with all the flooding from the day before. Like
Yeah.
the rivers were so high.
So high,
Yeah, this is all like Portsmouth is.
incredible.
Oh,
I
it rained
really-
the whole way down there, too.
It's Kentucky
That's,
over there.
Yeah, that's Kentucky
Yeah.
across the Ohio River. I don't know if you guys caught this, and I have it on video. Like how they had painted those arches on the flood wall. All of a sudden, the car went straight towards that, and I was like, because we were joking
I
about
think
the
you
road.
could
runner
hear
thing.
you on the video saying, it's doing the thing.
It's doing it. But I didn't realize there was a gap, and you could drive down to like
Oh,
the
so-
river. I literally thought the car was going to drive right into that wall like the road runner.
I watched
Like,
a person walk, and I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh my god. It was
So-
right near the retirement community, and I was like,
So there's a chance it could work.
yeah.
Yeah, I was here. I just thought I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but the walls were like they had this like gap between them, which I still have not looked up what they do.
For
When there's a
that
flood.
space, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they get people out, and they go grab
I sandbag it. I don't know.
one at a time.
Yeah, there's like these
Shoulder.
flood walls are all murals of Portsmouth's history, from like the Hopewell culture and like the 2,000 years ago, all the way up to like modern times, and then they have bike lanes all along. It's pretty cool.
Has the river ever gotten that high since they built that?
Yeah, there's been 2 huge
Oh,
floods
okay.
since then that the flood walls have prevented downtown from flooding.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. So they built those in 37 actually after.
Tootsie's Antique.
So they paid
That's
for
a great one.
themselves by this point.
Yeah, probably. I mean, when they talk about what the flood in 36 and like the 1913 one, which
Yeah.
under the canals cost. Yeah. Oh yeah, then your ice cream shop.
That was the
Dairy
worst ice
Queen.
cream I've
Was it
ever
really
had.
bad?
It was
It
horrible.
wasn't terrible.
You wouldn't use the word?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it was $1.50 though, wasn't
Also-
it?
That's what I said. As soon as I threw it away, I was like, I'm glad it was only $1.50. She was great though.
They got to fix that neon. I love it.
No way. Art. That was a good
That
shot.
picture of her
Yeah.
is great.
They had hot fries. Shit.
Yeah, apparently the ice cream was the worst choice.
We saw so many cats on this trip.
So many cats. So many kitties. This
That
one was
guy.
so friendly.
I love that
Yeah,
guy.
he is great.
We were worried he was too friendly, that he was going to go home with us.
Yeah, you could have. If I had a basket, party size, he would have been a basket cat. That thing is going so slow for some reason. Flickr has been off all day. So. Oh, there's William LeBron's up in here. What's up, man?
What up?
Hi. I'm not driving that far to camp. I love
Oh, Dave's
Ricky.
here too.
You and me both.
Hey, what's up, David? David's in here. Ohio has a lot of.
Ricky
long-
did ask were there camp fees. Yeah, they were really small.
Yeah, we camp in state parks and
Yeah.
two private campgrounds and 3 state parks, right?
Yeah.
Turkey Hollow was private. The first night was private. Oh, I guess 3 private campgrounds, 2 state parks. But they were all. I mean, like when we broke down like what the camping cost us each for like 5 nights, it was like $50 a piece.
Yeah, mine was 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Turkey Hollow must have been one of the more expensive ones.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
So yeah.
It was, because she sent it separate. It was 25, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so all the other ones were like 25, I guess.
Yeah. And everywhere we went, we told them that we were on bikes and that we had small tents, pup tents, if you will.
Just pup tents.
Just pup tent?
Just a couple pup tents.
That's what the first place asked me. I said, we're on bikes and it says like the people limit in this, there's no car. Can we just do this all on one site? And she was like, just pup tents? And we're like, sure.
Sure. Why
Did
not?
we Google this? Is there like an actual pup?
I've never looked up what
I
a
have
pup
never
tent is.
either.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, like, I don't mind paying
She used
camp.
the right word. We've been laughing. It's literally exactly what that
Like-
is.
A
Small
pup tent is a
lightweight.
common, wait,
A
read that.
small, lightweight, and of 10 wedge-shaped tent, typically used for 2 people. Oh my god, we've been making fun of her, but it
Yeah.
was so accurate.
We said pup tents
Yeah.
the entire trip after that. Because I was like, hey, we just have like 3 small tents and there's 5 of us. Do we need to get 2 sites? She's like, oh, just pup tents? You're fine on one site. And we're like, I was like, yeah, pup tents. We got pup tents.
I guess it's not common nomenclature because it's like a military thing because they use them for their dogs due to their small size and shape. There you go.
We ended up at 3 different sites that night anyway.
Oh yeah, they did because he told us we could spread out over 2 sites, and then it was gonna pour. So you guys ended up getting their like bare bones cabin. It was
Yeah.
a real.
It was great. It was fantastic.
Oh, you made the right choice.
It had a full-size bed and a refrigerator.
You guys paid an extra $40.
$45.
I-
It's
going
worth every
back, I
penny.
My tent stayed dry all night. Like my camp, like for all the flaws I have with my bikepacking tent, it stays dry until in the morning. That last deluge, like it was
It
getting wet from the other niches because
stormed.
everything was flooding.
Yeah.
But so it's like you can't expect the tent to survive a flood. I mean, it was
Yeah.
that dam that where me and you swam the night before, where that was dammed up. When we left in the morning, the water was just pouring over it. Like it was. You guys saw a tree come down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, there's the ravine outside of our cabin.
Oh my gosh, it was insane.
I think I have video of it, but yeah.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, that's right.
It turned into a river, and the trees in the middle of that new river got eroded out and started falling over.
Yeah. There was no way I could do the first night camping in that kind of weather.
Yeah, there were definitely times when it was like storming so hard it was waking me up because it was like just insane. But yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't mind paying to camp. Like I know some people are like diehard of like I never want to spend money on. I would rather camp somewhere where I know I could buy some firewood if I wanted. We could roll in. We could be comfortable.
Right.
Like I give credit to the people who really go out there and just like stealth camp and wing the entire thing. I like to sit around, set up a fire, drink beers. Like we're on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to stealth camp my way through vacation. Like and then like having to tear everything down in the morning. Like two different styles of doing things. Nothing wrong with the other one, but we were going to have fun too.
Oh, I like
Like-
the other end of things where we like hotel
Yeah.
or Airbnb.
Credit card touring,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do that. I have no problem with that.
Dating is cool if you know it. We're halfway through gentrification, which sucks.
I don't know. I liked being.
Oh, I'm gonna
do it
pet
that
all the.
cheap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pet
Yeah.
all the stray cats, Ricky. I'm not gonna stay away from them. Yeah, of course there's fleas out there, but yeah, I'm gonna take a
There's-
shower. I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yeah.
I know.
Hell, I would have pet that raccoon if it let me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If a raccoon rolled over and I'd be like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
They look like a little robber.
Yeah.
It's covered. Yeah. I slap a raccoon. You know?
Get out of here.
David Geller's liking the jorts.
He just made some jorts today and sent me a picture of it.
Ah.
I told him they weren't short enough, and they're basically capris. They came down to his knees almost. So.
Dave should see Tim's jorts.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Brad's are pretty close there.
These are normal.
Normal.
Look, they're normal to Ben.
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty normy.
Pretty normy. Aw, thanks, Bill.
Yeah. What the hell? There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, roughing it and doing like challenging things, I'm not against that. Like, and we still had long days on loaded bikes. Like there were days that 80-mile
That was
day.
still a challenge.
Yeah, it was tiring. And
Who's saying this isn't roughing it and challenging?
well, I'm just saying like, well,
It's
you,
not the tour divide.
yeah, you don't like, you're not a fan of camping.
Yeah, this was as rough as I want it to be,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what I'm saying. But we like knowing there's a destination where we're going to set up our camp chairs, sit at a picnic
Yeah.
table, make coffee in the morning if we want to. Like, this is definitely, when it comes to bike camping, this is on the very chill end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, versus sleeping in a, what do you call those?
Maybe.
Pup town.
Bivvy. Yeah. And sleeping in a bivvy, getting up super early, like hitting the road, just riding. Like,
Yeah.
this was, we're going to breweries, we're
Yeah.
eating out. Like, this is the chill end of
Yeah.
bike touring without getting Airbnb, like, but still actually camping.
I felt like we had more smaller stops too, which was nice to break up
Yeah.
things.
For sure.
I saw the map. Y'all basically just went the yuppie part of town.
The yuppie
Yeah, because
part
over there
is
by
down.
like Warped Wing, and there's like a farm to table restaurant me and Aaron have been to before. But
Nice.
then I kept making the joke anytime something went like wrong with it. I'm like, did the Wright brothers build this? It's just basically dating it. Like it's
Yeah.
so old. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't
And-
like that joke.
No.
Don't like it the second time either.
You're the only one that laughed then too.
Yeah. I stand by it. I think it's a solid.
Well,
Yeah, Ohio State Park's kind of, but yeah, it's always cheap.
wait, remember when there was that, Ben was like, did you see that statue of those two guys? What was the,
So,
the hand gestures?
Oh,
What'd you think they were doing?
this.
I think one was like trying to, it was the Wright brothers.
Orville and Wilbur
Yeah.
by name. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one was like demonstrating
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what the wings were going to do, and the other guy was like writing it down.
And Ben assumed it meant a guy sucking off two other dudes.
Well, obviously. Like, what else?
Wow, man, I don't think state parks do. Plus, I would imagine pay campgrounds spray the entire place with mosquito spray.
Oh.
No,
No.
I think like Ohio, like they let them be as natural as they can.
Yeah,
I mean,
not at
that's
all.
A Tim gesture.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you gotta do the judge.
It's just so awkward the way they have him.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Why is he all old there too? Is he like back when I first flew my plane?
When we
had
were
wings?"
talking about this, remember?
What's the other guy? Got a tablet or something.
The other guy never got that old. He died in a plane wreck. Believe it or not.
Does feel like a butt of a joke.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Can you believe he died?
Was
in
it
a-
Orville? One of the two died much younger than the other one in a plane crash.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Best snack?
Tim's loud shirt is blinding me.
It's not that. I guess it does look more pink on the
Yeah,
screen.
who knows?
It looks very pink on the screen.
What's up, Matt? So we had talked about this before. I'll rope this into one question. And I don't mean this to be cocky. I feel like I was dialed. I didn't have really any extra food. I didn't have any clothes I didn't wear except one pair of socks, which I didn't wear socks on the rainy day. So if it hadn't rained, so I felt like my situation was actually dialed, and I think it's from doing it a lot, but still a little bit of luck. Is there anything you wish you brought, or is there anything you wish you didn't bring? Like, either way on the trip. I know you said you brought clothes for every day. Would you have brought them all again if you did it?
Yep. I didn't even wear I think I only didn't wear 3 tank tops though, so they took up almost no room. I would have brought at least twice as many underwear, and I had packed 7. I just felt like I just need clean underwear.
Yeah.
Definitely would have done that. I wish I had brought pajama shorts. That was the one thing that every night I was like, this sucks. I'd have to wear the same, I don't know. They were just a regular pair of shorts, and I was wearing those, and then, yeah, that was annoying.
Interesting. I brought cotton boxers, thinking I'd want to sleep in them.
Yeah.
And I wore them the first night, but then every other night I just put on the ones I was going to wear the next day. So they'd be clean, they were wool.
Yeah.
So I'd put them on after we were done riding
Yeah.
or swimming or whatever, and then I would sleep in them, and then I would just ride in them, and that was fine. But yeah, so I wouldn't have brought the cotton boxers again. It was not necessary. Just putting on the clean ones the night before was good for me. But
I'm as ridiculous about showering as I am about clothing, so I feel like I changed my outfits probably 4 times a day.
yeah, because I only brought 3 riding shirts, and I just cleaned them. I
Yeah.
just washed them in the sink, just rinsed them off.
Yeah, I probably could have got away with less shirts.
You would have brought less shirts.
Maybe.
Did you end up wearing them all anyways, though?
Yeah. Just about. I think I used 2 pair for for a night. So I just always had something semi-clean for a night. That wasn't something I was going to wear the next day or had worn all the previous day.
I did that with shirts too. I brought 2 I like sleeping in cotton shirts, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
on long hot trips like this, I don't like riding them anymore. So I did bring 2 cotton shirts, and I just rotated them for sleeping.
I
Then I
could have
kept-
brought 2 less pair of socks. I brought 2 synthetic and 3 wool, and I did end up just wearing the wool ones. And I even took the synthetic off one day because they were uncomfortable, and switched to the wool.
Yeah,
But-
I didn't need to bring as many socks. It's mostly just refining what I already brought. There isn't a whole lot extra. I would just want to, just refine the things. And when I say refine, I guess the little fan I have, that was my luxury item. A smaller version of that, maybe a smaller version of the battery that I brought. Maybe change up. I don't know. Maybe the sleeping bag, sleeping situation, but that's all.
Novak said there's not going to be another surprise rat tonight.
Wait, we were talking around the campfire something. If there were things that we brought that we didn't use, was there stuff in the end that people brought that
I
they
brought my water filter system and some
Yeah.
extra water bladders just in case. But then almost the last campsite we stayed at ended up having non-potable water, and we were like, now's my chance to use but then we stopped at a gas station. I didn't have to get
But
anything.
also, Ben was like, we drank this water for 3 years. I'm like, oh, you're right. So I just.
Yeah, we
It's
also
the spot we
drank
had
it every
been
other
before.
time.
And the guy said, he's like, I drink it. The cows drink it,
Everyone.
but it's not technically.
Potable.
I don't know what makes something potable, where the testing, maybe you just have to get it tested, and he never
Yeah.
has. It's a well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just drank it. That pond we swam in, if you got that water in your mouth, it's probably worse. There's cows on the hill
Oh,
and
for
everything.
sure.
That water had a flavor. I mean, that was like a,
Yeah.
Did
Did you use everything you brought?
I didn't use all the clothes that I brought. I could have trimmed down on that. Which I only, I wore the same pair of socks, I think, the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a wool sock.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you did. Yeah.
wool socks or no socks. I had the sandals. I would have, I think, if I were to do it again and I knew the weather would be the same, I think I would just bring my sleeping bag liner instead of the full sleeping bag. Because it was
Yeah.
even down to like 61, like the lows.
Yeah.
It was too.
It's still
warm
warm
for me.
Yeah, still warm.
That's where I brought the sheet and I slept on, like, I just had the sleeping bag open. It was so comfortable to sleep on top of it, but have the sheet over me.
Having
It was
a
so
sleeping
worth
bag
it.
liner to put over my my
Inflatable
mattress
pad.
pad,
Yeah.
and then having a sheet, I think that's all I would
So
do.
I did that one year when we did Ohio to Erie, just the sleeping bag liner.
Yeah.
And there was one night where it got down to 60 and I was cold because
Yeah.
it was so hot during the day. So now I just bring the quilt. It's not even a bike pack. There's no straps, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a blanket. I should just call it a down blanket.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's perfect. I sleep on top of it if it's too warm.
Yeah.
Or just like I could do the partial thing. And for summer bike touring, for me, that's it now. So I do bring the liner because if you're just sleeping with a blanket, you can't sleep on those inflatable mats. That
Exactly.
would be disgusting.
Yeah.
It's gross.
So I put the liner actually over that like a fitted sheet.
Yep.
And then just sleep with the quilt. And so it covers all your bases and still packs down to this.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, sleeping bags in the summer, I'll never bring a sleeping bag in the summer again because
I have the quilt, and I don't like it. I
No?
took it on one of the trips. I just felt like it slid I don't know. I got really frustrated with it, and
If it's cold, that could be an issue, but if
I
it's
can't
warm,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. But the one thing I think I mentioned to you guys, but that I feel like for the stream it's worth it is if you have like the camp pillows. I have 2 of them, and they're square, and so I brought
want that one?
a sheet and a pillowcase, and there we go. But the 2 camp pillows fit into a normal pillowcase
Pyramid.
side by side as a regular pillow, and
That's
that
such a good idea.
it was just so. It was so comfortable. I couldn't believe how comfortable it was.
People told me too, and I was like, I don't like the texture of my inflatable pillow.
I
They're
hate
like,
it.
They're like, throw one of your cotton t-shirts over it. And I was like, genius.
I've tried that, but it was still. I feel like if you do just one pillow, it's a little too small. Where like you turn and then it slides.
Ah.
The pillowcase held both in place like a pillow.
Oh,
it was
nice.
great. My
So
body.
yes, inflatable pillows.
Yeah.
Oh, Thrifty just asked that. I think, did all of us use inflatable pillows?
I think we did.
Yeah. Do you use
Yeah.
inflatable pillows?
Yeah.
There's another question I saw in here that I felt
Mine
like,
is like, it's got a foam top, but then it inflates.
That's what mine is too. Yeah. I can't remember what brand mine is. And I think Brad's are Nemo or whatever those are.
Oh, this was a question. I think you're the only one who rode clipless on this trip.
Probably.
Ben-
Yeah. Ben usually.
Ben almost always rides clipless, but you put flats on just for the trip specifically so you could ride in your sandals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Brad never ride clipless, so that's no big deal to us. That's always how we ride.
Yeah,
So
and
we-
I only ride clipless, so I'm just more comfortable that way. I also have the shoes I have right now. I think are probably the best cycling shoes I've ever had. They've got like below the clip. I mean, they're a mountain bike shoe, but where you would normally be really slick on a regular shoe and could slip if you like didn't hit the clipless pedal. They're tacky, and so you can actually like just ride on the shoe too. Brad just read something recently that they were like one of the #1 recommended clipless shoe or something. I don't know.
No, I think it was just bikepacking.com.
Yeah.
That was their favorite as well.
Okay, that's what it was.
What pedals were you running?
I have DD Blade Runners
Oh,
on the
same as
Space
me.
Horse. Yeah.
So we both run DoD Blade Runners. What flat pedals were you running on your bike?
Deity compound?
Oh, the compound. And you only put them on for bike tours, right?
Yeah.
And
I
you
don't-
ride clipless
I
every other
yeah.
time?
prefer clipless, but
How did you feel
With
like
the-
by like day 3? Are you even thinking about it anymore? Or are you still missing your clipless? Or
climbing it's kind of weird for me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But
that would make sense.
with the rain and that kind of stuff, just having like bare feet, like nothing to get,
Yeah.
soak up the rain.
I was
nice.
worried about that,
Ken
but it
Norrell
was so hot.
subscribed to the
They
channel.
dried really easily. I was very surprised by that.
So who snored the loudest? I woke myself up one night. I think it's because I was drunk. Because I think I only really snore when I'm drunk. So, what did
notice anyone.
Now I heard you I think I heard you one night for a second.
You snore when you're falling asleep,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
he
okay.
doesn't
Falling
snore when he's asleep. So I'll usually be like, "You're snoring," and he's like,
You know
"Yeah,
what I
you
wa-
act like you're awake still."
More of a ghost,
Yeah.
Ghost sex guy.
Yeah.
a moaning.
Kind of more, a lot more weird moaning than.
Look at Edmund's chicken leg hanging out.
I would say though, when you camp in close proximity, sometimes we had a little bit of space. Some of the sites where our tents were much closer together because we were trying to find the level ground. Camping
Yeah.
on uneven ground is a nightmare, especially with two people in the tent. But I would say it's those inflatable sleeping pads. I'm a tosser and turner,
They're
and so
loud.
So it makes me so
When you're
conscious of
first
turning
settling
over.
down,
Yeah.
it's when you're making.
So I worry
trying to
about
get-
Erin, but she's usually Xanaxed out. But then I do. There's times where if I sense that you guys are still awake and I'm like, don't turn over till you absolutely have to. And that does affect my sleeping because it's like they are. It's just like
They're so
they
loud.
make so much noise.
That Cedar Summit one that I had before was.
That's
the
what I have now,
loudest
yeah.
one. Holy shit! I think Woody has it now, but it sounded like a clown car full of balloons.
Yeah, that's what mine. Yeah, making animal.
Yeah,
Clown
yeah.
car making clown animal.
Yeah, like you're fighting balloon animals. Yeah.
Me, Ben, and Aaron slept in a pretty big lean-to once down at that. Oh, the place you stayed there once too. Dundee.
Yeah.
And that night
For
too,
your
it was like the
birthday,
same thing.
or
We're-
your birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all in the same lean-to. Plenty of space, but it's that same thing where you're at the noise. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
now we're not
every
gonna
little
say.
and it kind of reverberated in that little lean-to, and you could hear it.
Did you ever get frustrated with the tossing and turning?
There was one night, yeah,
Yeah, just just that one night.
yeah.
You got furious. He covered into space in a t-shirt,
Yeah.
just laid there.
Going to sleep mad.
Yeah.
Eddie asked, I know I'm late to the party, but did you really have a 50-mile day or more with 100 feet of elevation? So I think our short day was how many was our?
It was 50 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, our short day was 50. Erin was saying how she wishes it's one thing you can't know before you go, but the place we had our short day didn't have a lot to do there, but also we had a lot of drying our stuff to do there, so it was like,
We were busy all that day. Yeah.
yeah,
It was nice to have that.
that would be Chillicothe to Xenia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what
Yeah,
that
there's
No, it was still 1,000 feet.
That was AM, so
Oh, did she do something different than that?
I was
Probably.
like, really? Mine's 55, 1,000 feet. Is
Why
it
did-
different for somebody else?
yeah, we did 100.
Strava's website.
Ames did all the optional climb.
Oh,
No.
the Portsmouth one.
Let's see. Let's pull up the short day. Because every other day was over 70.
passed.
there was a 50-mile day that's 128 feet of
Right here.
up one more.
Yeah,
There.
292 feet.
209. Tim's.
All right, so
I
yeah,
bet you all of ours are
50.75.
different.
Yeah, but it's still 300 feet on a 50
Oh my
mile
gosh,
day.
yours is
is-
only 200 feet of elevation.
It's no climbing, yeah. So
I think mine.
because that was all, but that day was entirely
It was
bike
a
path?
rainy day.
It was a rainy day, but it was
No,
it wasn't. We were on some roads, but they were
Yeah.
flat too.
No, we did a little bit of climbing.
Where?
Again, by that horse farm and stuff where it first started raining, where the
Oh,
mushy
yeah.
gravel was. So there was definitely
That's
some
the
climbs through
300
there.
feet there, but it felt
Yeah.
like way more than 300 feet.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's see what Ben shows.
I did.
You can't do back on Strava. It's so annoying. It
Or was
doesn't
that
go
the
back to
first
where you
day?
were.
Shit.
I did notice that I got as much elevation on
is one thing.
Saturday as what we had done all week, or more than we had done all
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, and then you actually cut out before we hit the actual climbing day. God, Strava is so. I've always noticed this on the stream. I usually open up each day in a new tab ahead of time. If you hit back, it resets everything. It won't go back to where you were. I think that's a trash website feature in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yours shows
161.
161.
Yeah,
So this is just our device.
I got
not being
6 more
accurate.
miles and mine's 1,000 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just not the devices being accurate. So yeah, Vinyl Coffee was in Washington Courthouse.
Yeah.
There's actually a photographer I follow, his YouTube I have forever. He lives in Chillicothe, and he even recommended Vinyl. He's like, oh, you'll be near, if you go through Washington
So
Courthouse, he was
good.
like, go to Vinyl Coffee.
He was right.
Yeah.
That was the best coffee I've had.
The one we went to in Dayton was good too.
So is this the day with the, then where are, this is, over here would be where the gravel roads were, right?
Yeah, it would be in that area. You're right, though.
They're not showing up on here. Yeah, we turned onto some, yeah, there's some gravel roads that were real loose. You don't remember them at all? You were riding with Aaron. And then we did the descent to where, like in your picture, you have that picture of Brad at that fruit farm.
Yeah, with the apple.
That wasn't day 2 though, was it?
Yeah.
I think you might be right. That might be day 1.
It was day 1 going to day 2. Yeah.
Oh. Anyways.
Or campsite for day 2, I guess.
Yeah, day 2 was all.
The trail.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
on
the
trail?
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blacktop.
Let's see what else these guys do. You should have ridden
Hill
up
is
the hill
steep.
to Adena Mansion in Chillicothe. That hill is steep. I feel like we made the right choice by not doing that.
It was
Yeah.
also storming when
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
in Chillicothe.
Yeah, we got into the brewery.
Yeah.
We sat down and then it poured the rest of the night, and then we left right when the rain stopped.
As soon as we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot as hell. We're on loaded bikes. What are you trying to do here, Zach?
Yeah. No, again, yeah. Like, I want to go back to that area of Ohio and do, like, hikes and explore the mounds
Yeah.
and take photographs, but that would be a completely different thing.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
I even said in my video where I was, like, packing up my bike, I'm like, this to me is going to be a little bit of a preview, because this is a place I might want to go back to and do day trips and stuff like that, because I'm a nerd about all the stuff they have down there. But, yeah. Thanks, Tectonic.
He's just tough.
Will P. Use bikes. I think we were almost always having fun. I think we are like there's that a couple times where after dinner we had a little bit of a ride, and I think we were like the 80-mile day. I know Aaron was tired. We were all, me and Ben were talking about even our hands hurting on that day.
Yeah.
And
Is that the day where we stopped at that winery
Mhm.
where we yeah.
yeah, you just got like there's always times on a bike tour where it gets a little long, and you're like
It always seemed to coincide with long stretches in the sun, where we're all just miserable.
yeah, and there's also just there's parts where we were in like really pretty rolly farm country, and then we still had some sections of like more big wide open that was just
Yeah.
less like it's like fine for 10 minutes, and then an hour later you're like, okay, there's not that much new to see here, but that's just part of
There's
doing long rides, right?
I should send them to you, but I already deleted them. I can pull them out. There's 6 videos that I took on like 6 different days, and they all look the same. It's like a row of corn, rows of
Soybeans.
corn, and then like a line of trees coming up to some farm equipment and like a farm building. And I basically took the same video 6 different times.
I think the only time the raining, I was definitely upset. I did not
Yeah,
like it.
that was.
I was a bit miserable there.
I remember that was a tough time because I was like, my foot just happened, and I was worried about it being wet for like
and it had
hours
rained
and hours
all
and
night,
hours and
all
hours,
morning, our entire ride. Yeah, we were just.
Oh, Zach. So yeah, no way he's in here. So
Oh, nice. That's the people on the bike trail.
yeah, just when we were back, pretty much back on the official Ohio to Erie, we went into Santaburg. We went to the coffee shop. You went to the gas station to get water.
Kolaches?
Kolache?
Oh, Kolaches.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you guys decided to hit the gas station again, and me and Aaron were like, we'll meet you
Yeah,
down the
before
road.
we
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
Glen, yeah, we were still yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So me and Aaron went on the trail, and we passed a couple people. Zach was wearing like a red, white, and blue jersey top, and we were joking because the woman he was riding with, your girlfriend, your wife, your friend, I don't know, was wearing like a pink and blue thing. We're like, when me and Aaron were coming up behind him, we're like, oh, is that Ben? Because Ben was wearing the EF
Really?
thing that was almost in the same
Yeah.
color. And then we passed him, and so then we're riding down the trail. Then all of a sudden we hear, coming up on your left. And I just did my typical, like, throw my
Yeah.
hand up. Then he was like, Tim? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I followed the channel, but he also had watched the last video, so he knew exactly. I'm like, oh, he's like, you're on your OTET ride and everything.
That's
so
awesome.
hilarious.
Aaron noticeably groaned and goes,
That's-
oh, God. Like, because I knew something.
Tim, I watched
Yeah.
the channel.
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then she was actually really nice. She was like, nice to meet you and everything like that. Yeah, so.
That part of the trail was also the best because I feel like we didn't expect it to be a slight downhill all the way to Mount
Yeah.
Vernon, and we were just like
Oh,
Cruising.
cruising.
Because that's why I said I'll see you guys back on the
All
trail.
shade.
Yeah, all in
gr-
shade
yeah.
after being in the sun.
Yeah.
And I'd
That
said
was
to you guys, I'll see you in a couple minutes because you were just stopping at the gas station. But it was so fast.
So fast,
That
yeah.
we didn't see you guys till we got to Mount Vernon. This guy is
This
such
guy.
a sweetheart. But yeah, Zach, it was really nice to meet you. So yeah. Yeah, that was cool that happened. Someone else commented on the video that they saw us pass him in Dayton.
Oh, nice.
Like we
Oh,
saw, I
that's-
saw you go by in Dayton, didn't realize it was you till it was too late. So yeah,
Saw us go by about 3 times.
yeah, so because we got lost. Yeah.
I did too. Don't worry. I was texting.
What do you do when you get bored? I think one of the things we
I
we
try-
go one of two ways.
Yeah.
We either start like making we kind of go insane and make ridiculous jokes and get like goofy as hell,
Just
or everyone
great.
gets completely quiet and in their own
It's,
head and just
it's
pedals.
one or the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have
There's
no in
in between. No.
You were
Make up
saying-
a theme song for the
Yeah.
Oh,
campground.
That's
do.
a tradition, yeah.
Wherever we're heading, we start to make up we try to come up with a song that fits the words of whatever the campground.
Yeah, we'll take just a famous song. We'll try and jam the fucking campground name into it somehow. And it's stupid and corny, and I'm never gonna share them. But
Most of them are just to
Yeah,
the
to
tune
the
of
Super
Super
Freak.
Freak.
Yeah, because Super Freak is the right syllable
fits.
for almost every campground. Yeah.
Super Freak.
Caesar Creek. Caesar Creek.
It's funnier when you've been pedaling for 70 miles.
Yeah. When you've been out for in the
Yeah,
sun for 8 hours.
yeah. Your brain is baked
What
by
was
the
it?
sun.
The Billy Idol one?
Oh, we've had some good ones.
Did
yeah.
we do it? Was it Billy Idol with Dancing with Myself? Or?
Mo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was what? Oh,
Something-
Rebel Yell.
Yeah, Rebel.
We were
yeah.
doing Rebel Yell for one of the campgrounds.
Oh,
I can't
We gotta find
I'm
a
sorry,
campground
I'm
that
sorry.
rhymes with Rebel. Yeah.
remember. Yeah, so the fact that we're not alone, I think it's either conversation or everyone, and we break up a lot. Like I've had people like comment like, "You guys don't all keep it together all the time." It's like we've been together for 6 days. Sometimes you two will go and ride alone. Sometimes I'm just chatting with Aaron.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just chatting with Ben. Sometimes I'm on my own. If I just feel like pedaling up a hill fast, I'll ride it alone and be in my own head.
Yeah.
I'm also always filming and taking photos, and
Yeah.
that's something that entertains me, trying to capture whatever we're doing. But yeah,
I'll find myself zoning out, and I kind of like when that happens.
absolutely no help.
Yeah. I did do something different this time though. I brought my AirPods, and I had some audio books and
Oh, the
podcasts
last
that
day.
I had saved.
We were hammering, because we kind of hammered out the towpath, and you and Aaron were both just listening to whatever you were listening
Yeah.
to.
The first day, because we were on that stretch of road that was just cars passing us from out of Portsmouth, I listened to podcasts that whole time just because I'm like, well, we can only ride single file here anyways.
There's on days where you can only ride single file, that was also a help.
Being that we had never seen that area at all in the valley was kind of cool. That was kind of for me, like I said, the canal and all that was, I was just like enjoying seeing something totally different. When you get into farm country, that just gets a little bit monotonous. Like the scenery can't always do it. I do enjoy if there's like houses and seeing how people sometimes in like kind of boring areas make their houses super
Oh, for
interesting.
sure.
Like I get a kick out of all that kind of stuff. But when I was talking to Russ on Pathless Pedaled, he was saying the same thing. He's like, when we tried to do the 200 Unbound, he was like, we found it got really boring.
I believe it.
So,
In
'cause you
Kansas,
did
are you
100.
kidding me?
Yeah.
How to handle that is part of the challenge, though. That's
Yeah, I'm really if I'm somewhere new, I do find that like I can really just be like, even if I don't want to come back, I'm glad I know what it looks like. You know, like, so I don't know, that just a lot of times keeps me entertained. But there's days that get long. It happens to everyone, and sometimes sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't be bored right now. Like, and we're not far enough
Right.
in this ride, but it doesn't matter. It just happens once in a while.
Yeah.
Like,
The little towns we'd go through were very interesting because they were
That
just
kept it
so
interesting.
small.
mhm.
It was very interesting to see that, to see like what each of those little small, cause they were so different.
And don't you love that too? Because we go to events, we meet people all the time. You do bike rides all over Ohio and races. Then when someone's like, "Hey, I'm from Washington Courthouse," you go, "Oh, I know what I've been
Yeah.
to Washington Court," and you have
And
a.
you've ridden that area.
I love having that visual map in your head. Like that's one of the to me the coolest things in life is just when like even being well traveled where you live, it just having that like, oh, I know that place. Have you ever been to Vinyl Coffee? Oh, I
Right.
love Vinyl. You know, it's just like I don't know.
For sure.
It's half my toes still there.
Yeah.
You
In the
can
belly
find-
of some groundhog.
What other photos we got here?
Oh yeah, I was gonna put those up in the background we chatted. Did they redo the Sipple Valley Trail or is it
I
still
don't
super?
remember.
It was mostly paved now. There
Yeah.
were some bumps. The
Do you
bridge.
think that was the area they were talking about was all rough?
No, this
No,
is
no,
this
no,
is
that-
after you already got. This is the trail
Oh,
that takes you
gotcha.
back to the Maslin.
Gotcha.
So it's still there are still some bumps on the Sipple Valley Trail, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I actually messed up my thumb doing my first century there because my bike was so slammed. I was riding like this and I hit one and it like jammed the joint. But yeah,
What was that brewery we sat in during the rain? When we had
50
to
West.
put that was 50 West.
yeah.
Where was that?
Chill coffee.
That was Chill Coffee.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
good time too.
Yeah.
Wait, I should start at that. I should start there.
That was just a good break.
I know it kind of.
That time, that going through
There it
there,
is.
Chill
Edmund,
Coffee
I'm
surprised
so
me.
sorry. My leg is so asleep.
Give him the bread.
Oh,
Hey, Babs.
He didn't want bread last time.
Now you scare the cat.
He spilled the water.
Edmund. Yeah, you got Edmund. It's all good. Why did that bother him? He's afraid of nothing.
Look at him. He's scared now.
He's a nihilist. He believes in nothing, Lebowski.
The boy.
It is just sparkling water.
Oh, you got water on him.
No, he didn't get him on him, but he dropped it with the water. There was a chance of getting wet. You know,
Edmund.
cat things, cat
Edmund,
concerns.
you're good. Your tail's not even poopy. He's not that afraid. That's the brewery. That's like the outside patio. But
50 West.
50 West, yeah. Can't wait to hear the Pup Tent song.
Look at him.
Yeah, we rolled in the sun. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then it poured.
yeah. I had stuff drying out there.
You and Aaron walked over to a ice cream shop? A coffee
A
shop.
coffee shop.
Yeah.
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 It was like a little strip almost. It had like a couple places connected to it. That was the move though, because they had super comfy chairs that we relaxed in. It was
Me and
great.
Brad kept drinking. Ben just got antsy, as he does in the rain when we sit around.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. A number of people brought up like riding the roads from Portsmouth, but 104, the shoulder was wide enough. I was never
Oh, I
uncomfortable. And even talking to,
Oh, I hated it.
oh really?
I was gonna say, but I'm like the worst
I can do
to
it, but I
gauge
still
that
hate
on.
Oh.
it. I still
Oh, it didn't bother me at all. And Zach said the same thing. He's like, you rode up from Portsmouth to Chillicothe. That part, I can't remember what he said. It's maybe hairy, sketchy. And I was like, oh, it didn't bother me at all.
Better than 23.
Plus, we had that, yeah. Well, yeah, if you went on the other side, that would be a
Really?
horrible
I
ride.
don't even know.
That's what we drove down on.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh,
And me and Aaron hit it for a section because when we crossed out of those farm fields, we rode like 2 miles on it. But, yeah. I don't know. That didn't bother me. We had that tailwind. We're just sailing. Now you can grab them. Yeah, and a lot of people talked about that, but yeah, it doesn't bother me. Any of you have any tours not recorded or journaled?
My first overnighter.
Yeah, with your dad?
Yeah.
When you threw away your camping gear halfway through?
My sleeping bag.
You know about this?
No.
Started in Ashtabula
Yeah.
and went down to the Ohio River.
How old are you?
It was like maybe 12 years ago.
Dang.
but I didn't have any like bike packing gear. Had an old Miata 10 speed, threw a rack on it, and just got panniers, and everything was on the back, and it the worst.
Just doing a wheelie the whole time.
Had a Brook saddle on it that was level, and I was just sliding like off of it the whole time. And with like 15 miles in, my ass hurt so bad. But
How many
yeah, just
miles
me
did
and
you
my
do?
dad, we rode. I think it was like 120 miles
Oh my god.
total.
Started hurting 15 miles in.
But
we
my
continued
first
on
stealth
that.
camp too. We like rode down to Warren, and then there's another like series of bike trails
Yeah.
you can take down to like Latonia or something.
Oh, wow.
Like I think West Virginia, PA, Ohio border
Okay.
is all like right there. But we rode down.
Oh, is this when you had a full-size sleeping bag?
Yeah. Wrapped in a garbage bag. It was literally like, it was so big. It's so heavy. Like, just,
I
it was,
love it.
yeah, just the sleeping bag we had when we were
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
like growing up.
Right.
I think my dad had the same one, but yeah, we camped one night, and the
How
next
cold was
morning
it?
it wasn't, I don't remember it being
Oh.
too cold, but
Sorry, I interrupted.
woke up the next morning and instantly just, there was a trash can at the trailhead, the next trailhead, I just threw it in. Yeah. Horrible.
Did your dad? Because I met him a number of times and talked about him about like bike riding. He's not like a nerd about it either, too. So like this, it sounds like he would still go on the trip and probably pack the same, right?
Just make it work.
He'd probably do it different now, but
He's got it like a little more dialed.
he would, I think.
Yeah.
Like flavor bread style?
What's flavor?
Oh, our buddy Brad in Columbus, he just had a
Milk crate.
milk crate on one end, and then he had built his own rack, or he'd taken this old like rack that didn't really work, and he just put a piece of PVC there to keep it from like hitting his head tube, and he had a single speed Schwinn, and then like Ben and him wrecked into it. Well, he wrecked into Ben, and when his bike went over and we were like putting everything back together and straightening everything, we realized like the quick release wheel didn't even have all the parts, like the springs weren't in there and shit. Like we're like, oh my god, like someone had sold it to him for like
Yeah.
$50, and so he's like, oh, this is a bike, and he rode it to work, and then he's like, I'll join you guys on the trip in Columbus, and then just like homemade did everything.
Wow.
Even brought that inflatable like couch, like he had like all this extra like. But
Yeah,
then,
he still had room.
but
for
I'm like, why can't I get this?
a luxury item.
I'm trying to put his bike back together because he likes riding bikes, but he's just not like a nerd like
Yeah.
us. Like, why can't I get this like tight? And Ben's like, well, it's like missing all the pieces. So when we got to Zini, we actually went into a bike shop and we're like bought all the little
Yeah.
stuff to
that's
like make his
right,
wheel
yeah, I
work.
remember.
What did we use for navigation? We all have bike computers. I think we all have Wahoos, except Ames, you run a Garmin.
Garmin.
But Ben had built all the routes on Ride with GPS. So basically, he sent us an email, we pinned the routes, and then load them onto our bike computers. Most of the time, I mean, a lot of times we're on bike trail for
Yeah.
a long time, but it's still nice when you get separated to know when you have to make a turn and all that stuff. But
I feel like I kept saying it on the trip, but the updates they've made to the bike computers, Wahoo, Garmin, and all of them are like so good now that it's like makes it even easier. Like just because Ben had added like stops, like our breweries or coffee, and on mine, I can't remember if you guys said it happened on yours, but like I would have a little symbol of a coffee cup or
Oh, no, I don't
little
get that
a
on
little
mine.
beer
Oh, dang,
stein,
yeah.
and I'd know where those were.
I
And then
could
you-
see that on Ride with GPS, but not on my actual bike computer.
Yeah, my computer did it.
Yeah, I don't know why mine wasn't doing it, but when we went and did gunks,
Yeah.
I was seeing those
Yeah.
like little icons.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine actually on this tour, the weather sealing around the buttons came up on the side.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think mine's gonna last very long. But I'm gonna reach out to Wahoo and be like, I wouldn't mind upgrading to the 3. Like,
Mine's
is there
starting
any-
to
Got
delaminate.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take it.
Oh, sorry, Bubs.
I gotta scare your cat again. Knock something over. I gotta get photos posted on OneDrive.
Oh, cool.
I put the laws and everything.
All right. Perfect.
Brad started delaminating too. Well, my
Yeah.
old one.
Is that the beer you're drinking?
Yeah. What is it? It was it's more podium beer.
There's the one dude who works down there does bike touring too. What's his name? I met him at Black Fork. God, I'm drawing a little blank on his name, which I could come on the
No
spot.
idea.
I talked to him on Instagram. He even messaged me on our tour, and we talked
See you
about a
guys.
couple
Bye.
things. See ya.
See ya.
Who else? Oh yeah, so Zach, who we were just talking to, I talked to out on the trail. He stayed at Turkey Hollow as well, and he was like, "Oh man, I didn't make it up that hill
Okay.
at all." But when I saw him, he was riding a total road bike. So I don't know if that's the bike he tried to get up the
Huh.
hill. But
I'll have to check it out. What the climb's all about.
oh yeah, because you didn't get to do that.
No.
Yeah, it's
I was doing my own kind of climbing that day, or I guess that was the next day.
what's the most MacGyver fix you have ever done on a trip? And when Aaron's hub shredded, how did we
We
just?
just rode to the bike shop.
We didn't even try and tie spokes together or anything. We made it. I feel like we had to do something because we knew it messed up. But
There's one for.
oh, thanks.
I don't think I have any MacGyver ones.
Yeah, what is we've done? Well, this is pretty much. It's not really MacGyver. Like the first bike tour me and Ben and Aaron ever did, my chain broke, and I had a triple, so a 3x9. So we had to just shorten the chain. And
Yeah.
I just used a chain tool, old
Oh,
school.
nice.
So I just put the chain back together by
And
putting
just-
the link back through, and I just knew, make sure you don't cross chain.
Yeah.
Like, and which I don't. You know, I know like a triple how to ride it pretty well, but it was like, you can't be lazy about this now.
Yeah.
You can't like not think about it. But because the chain wasn't long enough to be in big. But I'm trying to think if we've had anything else come up. I mean, on other bike rides, we've definitely put like boots and tires and done the dollar bill trick and all that
Really?
stuff. But on a bike tour, we've been reasonably lucky.
I
Yeah,
bet
I
you
don't
rat rides have had more
That
MacGyver
is
shit
like
than
our,
anything.
our
Yeah.
industrial gravel rides have done worse than we've ever done on a bike tour for some reason. Did you drive between days or was it one trip? No, this is all riding. We got dropped off in Portsmouth and rode home over 6 days.
I could see the confusion though. 'cause
Yeah, no drive. Like Yonda,
drove down there and then.
yeah, Yonda drove us down and we rode home. That was it. Yep,
Yeah.
had to make it. What's up, Eric? I never showed you guys the text that I sent Eric. So I was texting with Eric, my buddy. He lives in Boston now, but
Oh, that's it.
Eric's
Okay,
the
yeah.
drummer from my band back in the day, and just my best friend. But
That's
outside of my bike friends,
You're
no
allowed,
offense,
It's okay.
Brad, bass player buddy. But
Everybody calm down.
everyone take it down. But I think it was laying in the tent in the rain, and he had texted me like a song, and then I was like told him what I was doing. Then I told him like I'm camping outside Chillicothe. I was like, I've tricked my friends into riding this trip to see Ohio history. I said something about the canal, and then I'm like, 400 more miles of Ohio history to go.
Please advise.
Please advise.
Please advise. Yeah. Some large guy said 69.
69.
Put the mics in, Dave. Who was that?
That was me and Yonda put my.
Oh yeah, the three of us were on the
And all you
street.
did was go pee.
Yeah.
We were using the wireless mics, dropped it in the hood, and then everyone on the chat's like, "Oh my
I
God, we
can
can
hear
hear
everything."
everything!"
I hope I was like.
Yeah. This is how far I've gone with showing the pictures in the background. Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny to look at a tent and be like, "That's where me and Aaron sleep together when the rain fly is not on there." And
Yeah.
I think my favorite was that Delaware National Park, the kids riding around going, Their tents are so tiny. That one's even smaller. That one's the smallest.
Why are they so tiny?
Yeah.
But then at the one spot on the circle that was Delaware too. But the one guy came over. He's like, "You guys are camping on bikes. I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's so cool." Like,
Yeah,
and it's like,
He was so
awesome.
excited.
Whether he
Yeah.
ever does it or not, I love the fact that it was just like something he had not ever.
Considered.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was an interesting spot. The
Yeah.
Coffee Hub in Xenia.
It was interesting, all right.
So they do all this good community work.
Yeah, yeah.
And
A plus for that stuff.
Yeah, and has a religious bent. And the owner is like a cyclist who's from Canton. And so he was even wearing a Ralph Regula Topaz shirt, which is like one of the fundraisers the Ohio and Erie Canalway does. So, and we talked to him, and he was like an avid cyclist. But yeah, it was just like when you were just going to get a cup of coffee. What's that?
Clayton? That
Clayton.
Was, his name would be Clayton. I mean
Yeah.
that in a nice way.
Yeah, they were great. But but at one point he asked me, he was like, "Do you mind if I pray for you?" And I couldn't remember what that made me so like uncomfortable what I said. But Ben reminded me that I was like, I'm cool on that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, as awkward as it was to tell someone no, I can't have someone stand there and pray for me. Like,
What if he had just started praying over you too?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to
But
be.
it's like I love being prayed over.
You can pray for me, but do it on like you said.
Yeah.
Just go do it.
You don't have to
Go
tell
do
me.
it. The guy who gave us all the wood at Delaware State Park, he had like all this like good firewood. He's like, that stuff's dry, or that stuff's wet, kiln drying. Like this will get your fire going better.
Yeah.
And then we ended up talking. He was from Tip City, so I'm like, oh, we went through there, blah blah blah, nerding out. And then when he walked away, he was like, oh, drivers are crazy. I know you guys are riding a long way. He was like, have a good trip. And then he walked away and said, I'll pray for you. Cool, whatever.
Yeah,
It's an expression.
totally.
Whether he really does it or not, fine. But like to in person, like you're gonna pray. I feel like that's not praying for me. That's praying at me. Like, right? It's just like you're making a show of it. You're not.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
At the whole like asking of it, like, can I pray for you? I don't know.
Like I said, I was like, you can go home and jerk off to me. I don't care as long as I'm not there. Like,
Your face, Brad. You were like, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't put that in somebody's head.
Just that those two things back to back. That's
I feel like it's the same. At least one way you'll at least have a result.
anyways. Oh, look at the time.
Oh yeah, we're cut off.
This was morning, right?
Oh man, that little corner of my back got so sunburned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, blistered.
Will P asked, do you pee again anytime, Tim? I would love to go back to Hodag. I don't think I have the money this year. Pray away from me.
Stay away from me. That's pretty good, actually.
Yes, Lottie, that's so true. Like, and Brad made a good point about this. When people ask us about like bike touring and stuff like that, like when we're like leaving a restaurant and if have like been in air conditioned, we're so friendly. Or when we're already sitting down, we'll talk as much as we could tell they want to talk. When we first roll up to a place and have been in the sun, it's like everyone looks at each other like, who's gonna deal with this?
I feel like I try not to make eye contact with anyone. I'm like,
Oh, good. They talked to Tim.
yeah. Especially if they came in a group, I'm like, talk to him.
Yeah, it's like someone picks it up, and it's like most of the time I do think that's one of the cool things about bike touring, because people will be like, "Oh, where are you coming from?" And we never, and it's your right as someone who's done all these rides. Day 3, you could still say Portsmouth, Ohio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at that coffee shop, every single person there was like, "Where is that?"
That's what I was shocked by.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
was
like,
like,
well-
this is like pretty. Oh, he's a sweetie baby.
We're still in your half of the state. Yeah, but it is like a cool thing about it. I remember the first time me and Ben did it, just saying that, like, oh, we wanted to see where the towpath ended, and we're from Akron, and everyone's like, oh, cool, and they want to chat. But it is funny when you're road weary and stuff at first, and it's like, who's gonna be the one who? Like,
I was surprised people didn't know where
I'll
Portsmouth
jump on
was,
that grenade.
because it's like saying Maslin, distance-wise from where we were in some areas, and I was like, or like, yeah, it's just.
you don't know your region, your own region? Yeah, I'm surprised by that sometimes too when you would say that like Portsmouth's.
That one girl at the one coffee shop, though, was so funny. She came back like 15 minutes later and she was like, I just looked up where Portsmouth was and oh my god, that's so far away.
Yeah.
She was hysterical.
How did your trip compare to others? So how did the trip compare to others? This compares a lot to Ohio to Erie. I mean, like normal Ohio to Erie.
Yeah.
Like, totally different than North Country Traverse because that was so out there and challenging. Different from the Finger Lakes because that was so climbing, but the same.
It's not comparable to Finger Lakes, I think.
Yeah, I think there's the same amount of like civilization, but you're just climbing so much more in the Finger Lakes and like up and down and.
Yeah.
The environment was so different, though.
Yeah, it's hard to to compare. It's like
The food
well, we've
was
done
better
Ohio
in
to Erie a number of
Lakes.
times. It's like very similar to that. We just did a different version of that. But yeah, to compare it to like being in Michigan or Gap and CNO is all bike trails, so that's very different. We did. This must have been what, 50% road, 50% bike trail, or even
That's
more
what
road.
I think. I think it was 50.
50-50 about?
Probably, yeah.
What would you guess? 50-50? Yeah. So a lot of road. We did a lot of road riding, but a lot of the roads were super chill. Like you wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
There were times where we were riding on the road side by side, like you wouldn't even be worried about being on a road.
Exactly.
That 20 mile on the.
Yeah, you had plenty of time to see a car coming.
Yeah.
That one day when you guys got to Kaiser Lake and I rode,
Oh
it
yeah.
was like 20,
That's the day.
20 miles.
Oh yeah. We
Not a single car passed me that
Yeah.
whole
Those
way.
roads were so
Yeah, that
chill.
was crazy.
and that was after.
And it was so long and so straight. You were just
Yeah.
riding.
What was that town?
East.
What was that town it was? We ate at the brewery. We ordered at the bar. What town was that? That was Piqua. Piqua,
Oh,
Ohio,
Mhm.
which is a cool little town. But yeah, then we headed out into the country, and you might as well have been on a bike trail because
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
past like 3 times all the way to maybe I think when we got closer to the state park, there was some traffic coming and going to the state park because we're getting close to a holiday weekend. But
and then the next day to the coffee shop, we had almost no cars again.
And
yeah,
when,
super chill roads.
Yeah.
when you get to Holmes County, the trail is as wide as the road, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's buggy traffic there. Oh, this was a gamble we took that we didn't talk about. There were 2 different road closed signs, and they had different mileage on them. And someone was like, "Does that mean there's 2 bridges out?" And we decided to gamble on the first bridge, which we were able to
I
go
think
down
3
and go
of
over
you
the.
decided to gamble, and Ben and I were like, "It says bridge out."
Ben wrote a.
bridges.
You and Aaron
Yeah.
wrote ahead, and Ben looked at me. He's like, "There's literally a road that is parallel to this, like a
Yeah.
half mile away." Like,
Yep.
anyways, we gambled on the first one, and they did have a construction crossing on gravel and big rocks that we were able to.
You're making it sound so much more chill than it was. That was like
Navigate
not a chill navigate. Like,
But I mean, it
going
was like
across.
it meant you were going to get your feet wet, not that you were
Yeah.
going to get swept away by a river.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like
But the next bridge was a river, right?
no, we didn't chance that one.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
turned-
there was a river. That's why.
On the
That's
map,
why there was a
right?
bridge.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we didn't chance it and
Yeah.
we rerouted.
Yeah,
So we-
because the sign said bridge out, so we
Yeah.
were like, "There's
Yeah.
probably no way to cross."
I
that.
love this
Yeah.
picture. And if you know the date, like of when when I posted it on Instagram, it was like clearly already closed. Like, you know, so. I on early trips did weigh my bike. I think I was telling you this story, right? That I was trying to weigh my bike in the studio
Yeah,
here
yeah.
on a bathroom scale. So I'm holding it up by the rear wheel. I'm trying to balance it, then take the pressure off. But it's when there's still another photographer working here, and she bike tours. She even tandem toured with her husband, and she was kind of
Dang.
gave me the idea for the Finger Lakes route. But she saw what I was doing, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to figure out how much my bike weighs." And it was my old Trek, like my '80s Trek that I toured on. And she was like, "Weigh yourself, and then
then-
step on the scale and hold your bike." And I'm like, but that's the last time I did it. I just don't.
Do you remember how much it weighed?
I don't.
Ah, shit.
And I don't know how much my bikes weigh unloaded.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
I don't know how much my bike
I
weighs.
weigh more than that.
Normally. Yeah.
I weigh more than my bikes.
I mean, I know how much my bikes weigh, but I have no idea how much they weigh loaded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I always say, and like this is one thing I say about bike riding in general, if you're not a racer, like if you're worried about like titanium screws and all that stuff, like most of us,
Yeah,
can
just
lose more
could lose-
right here than you could ever take off your bike. So not everyone.
That's what. Yeah,
but-
yeah.
and I'm not also fat shaming anyone, but I'm like, if you just worry about weight,
Yeah.
if weight is your biggest
I'm-
issue, don't
This is where
don't
I'm gonna have
spend
to
it.
start.
Like start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I.
You can't outspend the weight that's on your body.
Right.
Like, there's bikes don't get that light. This is also a funny one because we had been talking about this section of the Ohio to Erie when we got back to it, and me and Ben and Aaron and we're like, the section of road with the barn. And so I like made sure I captured this photo, and then as we rode on, we were like, oh, that's not the barn we were talking about. It was
Yeah.
the road. I'm like, I'm not getting my camera back out now. And Erin's riding in
Oh,
one of my
this is-
shirts and talking like a pirate because she looks like a pirate. But she had gotten so burned that she wore my shirt the last couple of days.
she covered up and she's asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "You look like a
Buccaneer? Is that
Yeah,
what
it
you called
looked
her?
like a not a buccaneer, swashbuckler."
Swashbuckler.
I was like, "Why are you going swashbuckling?"
Kenny said, wow, this is still going.
Like this channel or this conversation?
Lives.
Yeah, that's it.
They meant to say Kim Kardashian has to do her makeup before entering a building unaware of the pending YouTube lecture. I like that you wrote YouTube.
Influencing.
You can pray for me. I'll think of for you.
I like that. Matt, how about that, says I.
Aye, Captain.
No, Bill said too. He asked about the way he said I'm old and fat. Yeah. Like I said, I don't unnecessarily weigh down my bike. Like I try to be light as possible, but yeah, there's a limit on what I care about. Like I'm more space conscious than weight conscious when I'm bike packing or
I
bike
feel
touring.
like my bike's the heaviest one every time, no matter what.
Oh, I think we
What?
all agreed that Finger Lakes mine ended up being the heaviest.
Yeah.
Really?
Remember we
What-
had to lift it over
Oh, because yours was filled with
the... Yeah.
What did you have in that thing, bricks?
Yeah, so many bricks. I had packed the most bricks.
Yeah.
I think I do pack the most. I think I feel like it probably wouldn't be surprising that mine is the heaviest. I need all the things.
I mean, Brad's carrying a USB-C fan. And
It could serve as a power bank in a pinch as well.
But you also have a giant power bank. And I think we had electric 3 out of 5 nights.
4 out of 5.
Yeah,
4 out of 5.
I only used it on the last night, and I used it to charge everything.
Everything.
That fan ran all night.
This place was surprising. It was good.
Oh yeah.
And I was surprised they had alcoholic drinks because there was a very Jesus-y.
Vibe.
Yeah, they had
And then
they had Bible verses on the menus and all that, but they had Bloody Marys and all that. We didn't get any, but
And they had Bloody Marys, which is
yeah.
Yeah.
They had
up to
cocktails.
Bloody
and-
Mary.
Yeah, Bloody Mary. Bicycletta is like the most like
Good night. I'll pray for you.
anarcho guy.
thank you, I guess. On your own time.
At least he didn't say the other thing I had said.
Yeah, thank you.
This doesn't show it. It's always crazy how like this is not that wide of a lens, but this was a climb here too. The last day and not the last. Yeah, it's the
Oh.
last day and like outside of Dalton,
Yeah.
climbing up to that house. This is
Oh,
a steep.
God, that
this is a pretty
sucks.
decent climb.
Yeah.
It was hot. We were out in the sun. Erin was like crushing it on that. She just like, I don't know. All of a sudden it come back around. She was just like,
Yeah.
she was right. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
taking this photo. She was ahead of me
last
and you
day.
right here.
Yeah, the last day she like bounced back.
I think a lot of people have mentioned the 4 panniers that Ben and Brad had, but I feel like that is the move. I feel like I would.
But they were
way-
small panniers too.
Yeah, I would.
Not those rear ones. But
Yeah.
But they weren't like, it wasn't like full
Gigantic,
classic when you
yeah.
picture a 70s road
Yeah,
touring
yeah.
bike. Like,
That's why I say I think it's a lot better to like. I would way rather have 4 panniers than the setup I had of the front bag and then the 2 panniers because trying to shove everything in the front and then like shuffling through all that, I would have liked to have had the 4 panniers in a small bag of just the stuff I want to grab.
Right, that's what I did.
Yeah, and you had a little bit more space. You could fit things easily. I was like constantly shoving stuff somewhere. Everywhere, just anywhere I could find it.
Let's go to camera B. What's going on back there in the corner? No, I agree. Even with like doing 2 front low riders in a rear bag, like even just 3 spaces, like the rear space, I don't stuff anything in there.
Yeah, it would never fit. It was so frustrating. I just kept trying to shove it back there, and it just I just couldn't get it in.
Good God.
Anyways, it all fit in the end. Up front.
And then everything came out when it needed to.
Yeah.
No, I do. Okay. We should say that with that. I do like the 3, like the rear. It's all evening. Like it's all just like tent, sleeping pad, chair.
Yeah.
Like I don't think about it during the day. But that was like.
It's very gentle. A loving stroke.
Yeah, after having to force everything in there, you need some gentle.
Yeah, listen to Pudgy.
Part. And then I also did the waterproof bags in there, which gave me this. Also, it didn't matter that they were waterproof, but sometimes you want the clean stuff separated from dirty stuff. So I had that going on a lot too, where I got like a good system of like knowing where everything was. But nope, just kidding. Good.
If I repackaged everything, I bet you I could use one of the panniers as like a little washing machine. Fill it with water. But that's a good setup for this kind of tour, but like it's not what I could use on some of our others.
Like if you're doing more off-road, you wouldn't want the
The low riders, yeah.
Nice thing about the Swifts, these front ones too, is they have the external pockets on both sides.
I like that a lot.
So I would
So
do
smart.
like lock,
Yeah.
saddle cover, and then the front bags became, one was like extra water so I could refill my bottles. The other one I actually started using for dirty socks. So I could, they just didn't have to even mix with anything inside the bag. And then go ahead.
I feel like the pockets are a great idea, but would get me in trouble because I'm the
like-
kind of person who will just keep trying to add more things. And for me, it's like I need the panniers to be like, nope, that's all that fits.
Dylan always says that like nature abhors a vacuum, but I think if you leave with the intention of having extra space, it's very helpful. And like one I put in like the musette bag, which is obviously something to have more stuff in. But there are times when we were gonna like walk into a restaurant, and then it was like, okay, just grab my jacket. I want a charger. I want my wallet, and then I would just like throw that over my shoulder, and it was easily accessible.
That's
It was
what I
really
did
nice.
too. Yep.
And I used it at the camp a lot too.
For the showers, I used it. Put all
Yeah,
my stuff
having
in.
stuff-
Yep.
And even sitting as like it gets dark, I would be like, before I
Same.
sat down, I want my camera and I want my GoPro, and I put it in there, and I put my headlamp in there, and just those couple things I needed for the evening that were going from the fire to the tent, and then I never had to go back to the bike type stuff.
Yep.
So, Brad's suggestive washing machine. We'll have to watch that one back.
You know what I will say I packed? I packed 2 towels. They were both like relatively smaller ones. The quick dry ones we all have.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, this is a great picture.
That was the guy.
There's that little oasis at the top of the last climb.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
Custer
yeah,
for
yeah,
Dalton.
yeah, yeah.
He said, I see your camp. Yeah, Larry. He said, and he's in every Ohio to Erie video. Like, people stop there, they sit down. He had cold water in a big jug.
Nice.
And I've never met him. I've ridden by every time. And he was, this time we sat down, we were filling our bottles. He's like, I see your camera. You want me to get a photo of you? And I quick switched it into automatic mode.
Yeah.
I photoshopped the hell out of this to get it to actually look good. But yeah, so.
Does zoom with your feet.
Yeah. And then he got one of, he wanted to get his like logos in there.
Oh,
so
nice.
He does warm showers, but you could also camp there. And it's literally at the last climb, and then you're like 2 miles outside of the town, maybe a mile, the last town before you get back on Bike Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool he did that. He was cool. He was like, he said he was 76
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's bike toured, and then he brought up like bike touring with his brother, and then he brought up Ludington, Michigan. We're like, we bike toured there.
Yeah.
So it was pretty
Wow.
It's a very tiny bike for you to be riding.
cool. Yes. Was that the last picture that was taken on the whole? Yeah, because we just when we got back to the towpath, we pace lined like the whole after Maslin. We stopped at Paradigm Shift in Maslin, and then we just like pace lined the whole way home till we were past Barberton. That's when we finally all like started like talking about the tour and stuff. But it was like we just know the towpath. Like we just know it. And I was like, again, it's so pretty down here.
Yeah.
I was still thinking like it's so cool down here. I don't go down here all the time, but it's like we're not on. It just didn't feel like you're on vacation. It's like let's get this section.
Yeah,
done,
we're
right?
done.
It's
we're,
funny, Micah and I were driving back from Tuscaloosa at that point, and I looked and you guys were in Barberton.
We're home, but not home enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like outside of Maslin, I had a couple beers at the brewery, and I did like a 5-mile pull of just like.
Yeah.
Are they still with me? How fast can I go and everyone still be with it? I didn't bring deodorant on the trip at all.
I did. I brought mini native.
When you drink that much water, I don't ever find that it's.
I think I remembered to use it once.
I just do not have it.
Yeah. Brad
Ah.
puts deodorant on to go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never. When I'm gonna drink that much water, I don't find that like your sweats, like your pit smell. But,
His don't. They smell like deodorant.
yeah.
Smelled like pine.
Did you bring deodorant, Ben?
Yeah.
Really? Did you put it on
Put
every
it
day?
on every morning.
Didn't even consider it.
We were all talking about Tim's stink.
Yeah, when this dude's
Yeah.
pulling, it just smells like a trail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Taco Tuesday back here.
Yeah, everyone's seen it. That guy's little spot is famous. It's been in like big, like popular videos and all that. The Oasis.
Doozer.
Oh, but you captured your movements.
Let's sit up here.
Well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we taught you guys everything you need to know. Go on a bike tour.
He's a thick boy.
Brad, lead us out with some words of wisdom.
Yeah, words of wisdom.
Words of I don't got it.
Come on, what do you got?
Say a prayer for
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like just like a rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sure you got something good up there.
Yeah, let's
No.
hear some wisdom that you've learned over your years.
Oh my God, no.
He's like, I
I
hate
can't
this
do
more.
this. Yeah, on the spot. No, I don't got anything.
On the spot's the only way to do it.
We'll let Edmund speak for the people.
Oh yeah, there's.
Edmund, say goodbye. Goodbye.
He's looking at me like, why?
It's a void.
All right,
Okay,
bye.
peace.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.